Champions League. He didn't win it this year, but he is Mr. Champions League himself. But I think there's a few players that can, but it depends on your fixtures as well, because I'm pretty sure Emery has to take Anders up in one of those rounds, so it's going to be a tough task for him.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the highlights here. There was this game with Nicholas as well, the RVP legend one. I mean, look, to go perfect in this league stage will be fantastic, but the reality is we do play Knockout FC at some point in the week. So the reality is, if you're in an ideal world, what you want to do is you want to try and get in that top 8, get through to the last 16, and hopefully it puts you in really, really good stead. But I don't personally think anybody is going to go.
Okay.
I want to give it. Think anybody is going.
It's a low odds, right? That's why I asked if there was a favorite to do it. Quick question, though, because I saw in the chat, is this a true theory? Defense is a myth. You truly just have to take advantage of every single scoring opportunity.
I do think in the last few years of FC, I think it's gone to an attacking game. I'm a bit of a defensive man myself. I don't like these high-scoring games. I ain't got the heart for it. I'm getting too old. So I think in this new era, you've got to be able to score goals. And I know it's the most cliche thing. The more goals you score, you're going to beat your opponent. But yeah, you got to have these 8-7 games in your lockers, and if you want to be one of the best FC players in the world.
There was an 8-6 finish for Levi, and of course, a celebration from Renzo, who is on our show at the start of things. Multiple coaches, multiple players, and Hezers is definitely going to be one of our players to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, great start for him. A lot of goals for him as well. From a perspective, I mean, that's the perfect start. We've seen him on absolute fire. He's a confidence player. It's a great start for him. I mean, look, we're going to see a lot of goals. There's no two ways about it. Whether you're losing heavily, these are 9-minute halves of FC. We're going to see goals for both players.
Yeah, I think for Hezers as well, the big thing for him is he's always been a guy that can score goals. But like I said, this year he's really changed his defensive style, and I think he's got the ability now to really claim the trophy.
After watching our first round of action, let's talk about some of the key features we expect to see in almost every game. Our players are given how much coin to spend?
15 million budget.
Yeah, so you can get some nice pieces on your roster. Who have you seen in almost every roster? I've seen Messi on the field. It looks like a lot of Jude will be played today.
You know what? When you're looking defensively, everyone seems to be using Maldini. There's a lot of players who are using Maldini. I think Anders is the only one who's using Maldini at left back.
Yeah.
That item, I mean, play styles are super important on the game. So each item has separate play styles. Maldini just looks like a dream. He's been absolutely incredible throughout.
Yeah, Maldini as an item, I think the playstyles are the number one important thing in the game. And I think for defenders, you need to have that gold intercept playstyle, because that will just help you win the ball back. You see how hard it is to defend already. But with that playstyle as well, but Maldini has, I think, 97, 98 reactions. So he's just able to jockey a bit better on the ball. But it's a playstyle game. You're going to see a different number of items being used across the board.
Well, speaking of some of the greats, Anders is going to be playing here on day number 1. And if you don't know the man who already has 4 world championships, or 4 championships this year, he's going for his 5th here at EWC.
Right, guys, I'm joined by Anders Verjking. He's the 2024 world champion. Anders, I know we've spoken a lot before about how you practice for competitions. Sometimes there's not a lot involved, but tell me about the preparations for this tournament.
Like, obviously I won the Champions League, and now I had 2 months off, so I mean, I practiced a bit. Like, I would say I started almost a month ago, so I think it has been pretty good. And obviously I take some days off, but I practice most of the days. But as you said, I would say I'm pretty different to the other players. I don't practice as much, and I don't practice maybe as serious as the others. So I'm confident in the way I prepare, and I'm pretty sure that I will be ready for this tournament.
All right, let's talk more about your entire season as a whole, because you went 4 for 4 championships in 4 different leagues. Can we make it 5? How important is this 5th trophy for the season for you?
I mean, obviously this was the most important one, and if I would win this one, it would be the best season ever. I think even if I doesn't win, it would still be, but of course it would confirm it for sure, and I want to win every tournament I play in, and I also know that all the other players knows I'm the best, and they all see me as the favorite, so I'm pretty sure that if I'm going to play well, I'm also going to win. But even though you're the favorite, it doesn't mean you're going to win, so of course I have to take every game very serious. But it's a 5 days tournament. We have 3 days of group stage. It's not in these 3 days where you have to be at your best, so even if I would lose or draw some games, I wouldn't be that surprised, because I know that it's in the weekend I have to peak.
Let's talk about one of those games specifically. You are going up against Emre Yilmaz. Not many players give you trouble. Emre is one of those players. We know he's playing at his top level as well. Tell me how you're feeling about that matchup, because it is your last match in the league phase.
I mean, he used to give me like troubles in group stage. In finals, not so much. So I'm pretty like, I don't know how to say, like I don't really think too much about this game. Like as you said, like, it's a group stage game. It's like not the end of the world if you lose. Of course you want to win, but it would be different if it's in the weekend we're gonna play. So of course I want to win, but it's always the same. Like he's better in group stage, I'm worse in group stage. I'm better in knockout, he's worse in knockout. So I wouldn't be too surprised if I'm gonna lose that game, but it's a 6-game like group stage. You can afford to lose some games and still be in top 8. If not, then you're at top 24. And even if you would win the group stage, you can still be like unlucky and play a good player in the first round. So like it's always like bracket based, and it doesn't matter if you end number 1 or 24. Like you can get like unlucky or lucky either way. So I'll just try to win every single game, but I know it will be hard because, as I always say, like in group stage it's not where I'm the best and it's not where I'm peaking. So I'll just do my best, and then hopefully in the weekend I will be like warmed up enough and be ready to be at my best, because if I'm at my best, then nobody can beat me.
All right, well, Anders, I will let you get back to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Right, guys, I am joined by Anders Verjking. He's the 2024 World Champion.
It's up there, I'll be honest, it's really, really up there. Anders Verjking, he's dropped his voice by 7 decibels. Casey the same, Richard Buckley alongside Ryan Pessoa to guide you through some more action coming from the FC Pro World Championships, live from the heart of Paris at the Esports World Cup. Ryan, we've seen 6 players victorious or in defeat so far, 1 draw to separate as well. What are you expecting as we move forward and see more players taking to the stage?
I think more goals, I think is fair to say, especially after that opening round. But you see Anders up against his opponent there with Redlac, who I had a brief conversation with beforehand. And he's had a rough session in terms of practice, so we'll be hoping he can start off strongly in this one. You can see all 6 games on your screen. We're going to actually be focusing on PH Zin up against Levi Finn right here.
And it is going to be PH Zin from left to right, Levi Finn from right to left. I know you mentioned that.
PH Zin. Hi, Shadow.
Doesn't matter what happens.
Cricket condition chat in marking room.
You can speak.
Yeah, go.
Based off the interview there from Anders. Obviously, it's not practice; it's actually group stage he's referring to. But you can start slowly. Ultimately, it doesn't impact the result and what your path to the final could look like. It is a bright start there from Milkalov. Obrun 1-0 down early doors.
Yeah, we're trying to bring all the action, all the goals as PH Zin opens up his account. And the FC Pro World Championship qualified through the Libertadores runner-up position. He's got a army of sports fans behind him that have made the trip to Paris. And he starts with a lovely low-driven finish into the bottom corner.
And it's key to mention, these 2 players here, their seasons could have turned out very, very different.
Absolutely.
Levi Finn, when we saw him in Germany, he was relying on a few results to go in his way in order to get into play-ins, and he made it through there to qualify for the World Championships. PH Zin was looking down and out pretty much against Facu Cohen in Brazil and somehow managed to turn it around.
The liveliest atmosphere I've ever seen for a game. We see another angle of the finish there that put PH Zin 1-0 up. We've got all the games in front of us here from the commentary position. Danny Pitbull taking on Neat. Milkalov and Obrun. PH Zin wants to double his lead. Good save from Heel, who comes out and the ball just dribbles out of play. Let's show you a couple of those moments from the other matches. That's scrappy at the back. But Danny Pitbull for Nova Esports goes 1-0 up. And just seeing across the board, Redlac and Anders Verjking in action alongside Katja and Matthias Bonanno also. There has been goals across the board, and we'll give you all the best bits from this round of fixtures.
Adida up against Samu Gamer is another game to keep a close eye on. We'll bring you updates whilst we can. Obviously, 6 games going on at the same time.
Granit Xhaka looking to come in behind. There's a very boisterous atmosphere here at the Esports World Cup. Plenty of different stages and action unfolding. If you are in the area as well, if you can get a ticket, make sure you come on down. As Granit Xhaka goes through on goal, finds the finesse into the top corner, level game with 12 on the clock.
Yeah, you saw the keeper just rooted to the spot. He tried to move him, and it allowed that near post finesse shot from Granit Xhaka to equalise for Levi Finn.
We spoke with Levi Finn quite a bit of the virtual Bundesliga, obviously, when he was the defending champion coming into the tournament. It didn't quite go his way, but even in defeat and even in sort of moments of I would say, disappointment. He was very positive on the whole season. There was some huge permutations that had to go his way, but he had a real belief that he was going to find his way to another World Championships.
He was very level-headed and realistic as well in terms of the way he thought his season could go. That's Anders Vergang, of course, for Team Falcons, breaking the deadlock against Redlac. It's going to be a bit of fortune again. We've seen that in other games, I should say. And Levy Finn up 2-1, but just continuing what we were speaking on about him. Just having that mentality as well, knowing that obviously you have to be accepting that his fate wasn't in his hands and he's potentially about to concede straight from kickoff range.
Yeah, it's a poor offside trap, isn't it? PSG can't make it count, kicking Nazareth. Now find the far corner across the goalkeeper, has whipped into the back post. Full fault to Jude Bellingham on the edge of the box, a little twist and a little turn, and Salma takes over. But as you were saying, I think both players are similar mindset, to be honest. Even PSG, he went into that Como y Libertadores title championship knowing I have to perform here.
Yep.
Third, fourth place, quarterfinals isn't good enough. I have to make it to the grand final. That's exactly what he did. Samu Gamer running out of the blocks with a quick 3-0 start against Adida. Yeah,
not the start Adida would have wanted in this game. 3-0 down early doors.
So Adida not too long ago, as we see Levy Finn coming forward once again. This was that scrappy goal that we just talked you through. The reaction from PH right there. I know Brandon and Grav were up here just 10-15 minutes ago talking you through the first round of PH equalisers, and it will go on to my point here. Two players here who qualified for this tournament at a very different stage of the year. PH in the first week of May, Levy Finn only days away. Is there an advantage for those players who came through the play-ins?
I would always say naturally, because you're playing high-intense competitions, you're going to have a bit of an advantage, especially if it's in recent times. You can't really replicate the last chance qualifier or the play-in, through practice. It's impossible. So I think having that experience does have a slight impact. I don't think it's the goal and end all, but I think in these positions it does help. Peters in behind. Kika with that game changer. Travella there. Low driven into the corner to take the 3-2 lead.
The weight of the pass was perfect. As PSG scored first. Gets a couple pegged back from Levy Finn and now finds himself back in front. You see Night Watch there just over Levy Finn's
India can disqualify.
Right. Now, one of the leading voices at that RB Leipzig camp behind the controller. We're going to see the perfect pass there from Ousmane Dembele that did put PH in 3-2 up. As we go back to the live action, the ball cannons off the post. Across the other matches taking place at the moment.
Next year, I will be there.
Still locking horns. Danny Pitbull leading 3-1. Milka Love leading 2-0 against Oberon.
Wow.
PH comes forward once again, twisting and turning, kicking Nazareth. 2-goal cushion for PH.
Brilliant dribbling there in the box, just the way he forced Levy Finn to step in. He was a bit aggressive with Stam, didn't time it correctly for Levy Finn there, but Peters finds himself up by 2 goals now as the pause is cued in.
Well, let's go to another game if we can. That Bonanno versus Katia match. It's currently underway. We're in the 37th minute while we do have a pause here. And it's a really, really tight game. Scoreline level at the moment, 2-2. And here you go. How important is this World Championships for Matthias Bonanno? A couple of World Championships now where he's not performed to his quality. Grouped, I think, at the last 2 with quite low placements. Ryan, this feels like a big one for him.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in previous years, in my opinion anyway, just watching from the outside in, I think he was better. I think this year, obviously, he's still very, very good. He's a champion in the Premier League, and you don't do that by accident. I still feel like there are levels to go up, because we saw what he's capable of in, was it 22 season? This is the goal for Anders Vergang to make it 2-0 up against
the Team of the Season Cup when he won the 2v2.
Joke, it was so good.
Yeah.
Anders again making it 3-0, in fact.
Picked up the title in 2024 of World Champion Anders Vergang. He's looking to go and add a second title to his mantelpiece. And also, in the Esports World Cup picture, a huge 1,000 points, which it could be for Team Falcons. Continue there on Bonanno and his opportunity and his chances this season.
He's definitely got a chance. When you're in and amongst the top players in the world, you always have to believe that. And I think he is capable of lifting the trophy. As I said, though, I just want to see a little bit more in terms of, let's say, when we're watching like Anders Nicholas, for example, you just see a little bit of a difference there. This is goal for Levy Finn.
That's really important.
Just giving up the space there for that easy finesse shot.
Yeah, that's one that he's not going to be very happy of there, PH, because it looked well too easy. And in the blink of an eye, Levy Finn has scored 2 quick-fire goals.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest, about the way the defending is. Maybe the players are going to have to take time to get used to it, but it just looks open. It's very, very open.
We're approaching half-time here. Let us know at home as well in the chat. Who do you want to see? Any questions for myself or Mr. Ryan Pessoa as PH Zin goes 5-2 up, and Ryan just shoots me a stare from across the commentary position here.
I'm just looking.
What is happening?
It just feels. It looks very easy. I don't know if that's just players being nervous or not. I haven't spoken to any players before the game, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what their thought process is on it.
Absolutely. Panetta 19, show us Anders. Well, Anders Verga is 4-0 up at the moment against Redlac. You can see this goal. Second time I'm watching it, Ryan, anything to...
It's a bit fortunate in a way it's gone through a few bodies there in the finish, but yeah, my issue is before that.
What was your last record on champs, both of you?
15-0.
Actually played just last weekend with my first own team, 13-2.
Not bad.
But I'm looking forward to getting back because I've got a Ferran Torres that's going to be 99 rated because I did the SBC. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Don't want to ask FG what his last record was. Don't want to know.
7-8.
Approaching the end of the first half in this game. Let's jump across though. That is a crazy finish. Milkolov going 3-0 up there against Auburn, who's having a very, very slow start to this year's FC Pro World Championships.
Lovely feet inside the box. Play along to the edge. There's Musiala. Big save. Healing goal. Here is Anders Vergang and Redlac. It's one back there for Redlac. 4-1 now. That game is...
It must be a horrible feeling when you're seeing your matchups and you realise your first game is against Anders Vergang.
He'll know him though. They spent time at RB Leipzig together. I think it's less of maybe a...
Oh, that's lovely. Oh.
Double roulette. Beautiful. What a save. I think because he knows him probably quite well, it might be less of a scary fact as it would be maybe for us.
And then also you can say that maybe you can catch him off guard. First game, maybe he's a bit cold, but it's going to find its way through almost. Finding the back of the net. Half-time, P8 Zin leads 5-4 against Levy Finn.
Well, we are at half-time here across the board. Let me just run you through a couple of those scorelines as they stand right now. P8 Zin 5, Levy Finn 4. Danny Pitbull 5, Neat 2. Milkolov 3, Auburn 0. Bonanno 4-2 up against Kachia. Samu Gamer leading 4-1 against Adida. And Anders Vergang 4-2
wow.
against Redlac. Couple of quick fire goals there from the EMLS champ. You see all the games there on your screen. Surprised at half-time by any of these results that are currently taking shape, Ryan Pessoa?
Not really. That's a smart finish there for Anders to go 5-2 up. So the only big surprise there for me would be the Auburn result as it stands, but there's still a long way left in that game.
Yeah, Milkolov qualified through that third, fourth place matchup at the virtual Bundesliga, with Nasada already having his spot through the FC Pro Open. The spot then comes down to the semi-finalists. Maybe one of the most nerve-wracking games of the entire season, with everything on the line in a one-off match. Milkolov did win. And rightfully so at the FC Pro World Championships. As for Samu Gamer, he goes 5-1 up against Adida. A tough start for the man from USA.
Very, very high pressing there from Anders, and he gives it away, can't win the ball high up again, and it allows Redlac to potentially push forward.
Nice feet on the edge of the box here from Anders Vergang. Couple of step over, just finds Salma. It makes it look so simple. Does Anders Vergang. 4 tournaments this season, 4 victories. And he's looking for a quintuple.
I know Grabberson was having that discussion about the goal in the scene, and he puts Manu there, but I think if Anders is able to complete this season with this trophy here, there's no debate, right? It's, yeah.
You see him having a few words there over the screen. For Redlac in this matchup, Brian, it looks like the result will go away from him here. Is it one just to, as crazy as it sounds though, you know there's not going to be anyone better than this.
You're saying like a free hit?
Almost. Is that a positive way of looking at it?
I don't know. I don't think he would be looking at it like that, to be honest with you. But obviously, you have to understand that Anders, for me, this year is clearly the best player based on accomplishments, as that is Levy Finn's equaliser there. But it's just a hard start to a tournament, to any tournament.
Really tough, yeah. 5-5 between PH and Levy Finn. Both players will know how important that 3 points is to kickstart this group standings.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Top 24 go through, bottom 12 go out.
EAFC World Championship is
around
happening.
straight in to the round of 16.
These are the top pro players in the world.
Free kick, 45 yards out. There's going to be no even thought of putting that into the box. A simple recycle of possession for PHZ. See the live updates there on the right hand side of your screen. Redlac 3, Vergang 6. Like Bonanno was just leading there against Kachia, 4-3. Those are live updated right now, and a tough start for Adidas. 6-1 down to Samuel Gamer. PHZ probing on the edge of the box. Levy Finn just snuffs out the attack, and it will fall to a white shirt with Bakaya Saka doing enough to get past Salma.
Yeah, I think Peterson made a little mistake. I think he wanted to create it on somebody else. Beautiful play from Levy Finn.
Giuliano dancing inside the box. Araujo with a game goal-saving block. Neat getting to the byline and getting a cut back there. He'll be riding a huge wedge of momentum and confidence after that penalty shootout victory against Tex only a week and a half ago.
I still can't forget that game. Honestly, the penalty shootout, that normal time and extra time as well, was nerve-wracking.
Jude Bellingham. A little bit of analog sprint, technical dribble there, just down the byline, opening up the space here for Levy Finn. He's waiting for an opportunity. Saka into Musiala. There's the acceleration. And there's the lead with 29 minutes left to play for Levy Finn. It's 11 goals, and it's an absolute thriller here.
So a Nightwatch will be giving the words of wisdom, just telling him, of course, you've taken the lead in these moments, but there's still a long way to go. 30 minutes is plenty of time. 9-minute halves on FC26.
Well, let's, as we've got a pause here, let's have a quick look across some of those other matches. I know we've got the multi-feed that we can go to. Samu Gamer leading 7-1
Wow.
against Adida. As for Anders Vergang, he is leading 6-2, and all the other 4 games are currently in a pause. Danny Pitbull, 3-3 against Neeks. It's a pause with Bonanno and Kachia. A pause in Milkalov and Oberon, and the chews are popping. There's a party in Paris for the Pitbull. Not your go-to, Ryan?
Not for me.
Oh,
Really lofted the ball over the top. It's an interception from Yapstam. A corner is awarded. What does Neat have in the locker here? It's short. Is there a space there on the edge of the box? Danny Pitbull's defended that really well. Just to limit the amount of passes that can go into dangerous areas, but Neat will find a way. Casillas needed to push it out.
We saw Neat a lot this season. We see in the League FC Pro regular season and then throughout the season there and in the last chance, call it all, but the planes I should say. I think the biggest criticism from him early on in the season was that he overplayed a lot of chances around the box. And I felt like in the play-ins in those games, and especially against Tex, he fell into that routine again. But then there are some moments when he goes forward so fast, he's really, really difficult to stop.
Could you also say, because of how good he is naturally at the game, he's not micro-managing the match in terms of that corner there? For a lot of players, it's just hit to the back post, you play on the knockdown, you play on a second ball. He always plays his corners short. He always maybe doesn't play the entire meta. He plays his way. Extra pass to Jude Bellingham, and just that one there, aimed slightly wide of the post.
Yeah, precision shooting there. Fits aimed on target. Obviously, there is a chance.
Very promising.
That is as well. On just offside.
6-6.
About to say, that would have been a lovely way to equalise for Piet's in there.
I know we've not seen this game yet, but match number 3, if we can go to it very quickly, it's the performance of the round for me so far. Milka Love up against Oberon, 3-0. Wow. Milka Love leading. Clean sheet so far against Oberon.
Very, very impressive, especially on FC26, to not concede a goal against somebody like Oberon, who has had a lot of success at World Championships before. FC Pro Opens as well.
Came in as the 108th ranked player, the lowest ranked player on the FC Pro rankings, and he's 3-0 up against Oberon.
Yeah, you see him there, he tried to slow the game down, going all the way back with Adam Wharton in possession, giving it to Oberon though. He can start an attack of his own, but it doesn't look like anything is flowing there for Oberon.
Really, really, really impressive performance here from Milka Love.
Oh,
Sort of like that attack there is the typical Oberon attack, where he triggers a run, whether it's from midfield or a right midfielder, and tries to play the first-time passes, build up an attack for it. This year, not as common as we've seen in previous years. It's still very, very good, but it's just, from what we've seen anyway, not working at all.
Just looking across the other matches taking place here, we'll go to something when this attack does break down. Game number 1, we have had a little bit more time elapsed there. You got full time in the bottom left corner. Matias Bonanno victorious against Katya. That looked like a win. We just joined this game at the perfect moment. Free kick, edge of the box, slammed in.
That range, Richard, I know you love a free kick on this game as well. That has to be a goal. Levy Finn, 7-5.
Is that enough? It doesn't feel like it, does it?
Not yet. I would say no, because there's still plenty of time left for Pietizin to get an equaliser. 71 minutes have been played.
You see the beautiful stage in here
At
the Esports World Cup, hosting the FC Pro World Championships here in week 3 of the premium esports event over the summer. We do have some huge scorelines coming through, by the way. Samu Gamer 8-2 up against Adida. It looks to me like Anders Vergang 8-4 against Red Black, with Neat and Danny Pitbull in a very, very tight game. We just saw a fist bump there in the back of the shot, and Neat has gone in front, now leading 4-3. And just look ahead, Ryan, what we've not seen yet. Emre Yilmaz.
Yep.
2018 World Champion MS Dossary, chairman of Team Falcons. So many big names, so many big players still to come, and still looking to kick off their campaign here at the FC Pro World Championships. We'll jump back into this one live. PHZ 5, Levy Finn 7, with round about 20 in-game minutes left to play.
Was the goal from Neat to make it 4-3. Just under 10 minutes left to be played. That could be the winning goal, and so could this one here. Musiala 8-5 now. What do you think, Rich? Is this enough for him?
It feels like maybe the wind has gone out the sails of PHG, and it was a flash start from the man representing Tuzzy Esports. But a few second half pauses, maybe being the difference here. I say that, Gil has just performed an outstanding save in the bottom left of the corner of the pitch there. And PHG is piling on the pressure. But is it too little, too late?
Again, bottom.
That off, yeah, looked offside there. Defensive line stepping forward. I think for these moments, this is where Levy Finn will know, especially when the pause is skewed as a player, you know that your opponent wants to change something, whether they're frustrated, they want to bring on fresh legs or something, just try and take time out. And he does the opposite. Gives the ball away. Peterson can attack, and if he gets a goal now, it could put him in good stead for the final 12 or so minutes.
Zizo into Salma, twisting, turning, finds the space, finds the angle, and there's the finesse. Full-time results coming in from a number of matches here. Anders Vergang victorious, Banano victorious, and Milka Love all with wins to their name. The guys at the desk, Chels, FG, and Mr. Chris Puckett will be guiding you through how that table is looking, with 2/3 of the competitors having played their matches. Luca Bacchio in a foot race on the byline.
Wonder if this is where Neat will start to resort to a bit of game management, a bit of discipline, just to keep possession and know that
this is
unless
game.
Something opens up clearly for him to score, you can take seconds off, take minutes off the clock here, Richard, because he would know very, very well, very recently, that you give up chances late on, you do get punished.
Absolutely. He's not even skipping the replay animation.
Take every second you can.
Is it going to be a short corner played? You would imagine so. Even when he's trying to attack, it's a short one. Do you go all the way back here?
I'd say, yeah.
Recycle around the back?
Yep.
Granit Xhaka does go back towards Nico O'Reilly. Was cut out, the pass back to the goalkeeper by Danny Pitbull. The big question now is, Ryan, how many injury time minutes are we going to get?
Look at the offside trap being spammed as well. +2, so walks off the pitch. Danny Pitbull will have an opportunity to go forward.
You know he loves late drama. If you watch the East Serie A this season, it was Danny Pitbull roaring. Kalnoglu finds the pass to Salma, in for the near post, low driven. The space on the other side of the goal. Luca Bacchio floated into the back post, wins the knockdown. Ousmane Dembele twisting, turning. Is there a space there? Jude Bellingham on the finesse. What a save from Gigi Donnarumma. One final chance for Danny Pitbull in his opening game of the FC Pro World Championship to get points. He keeps the attack moving forward. It's got to be now. It's got to be Donnarumma once again. Neat hangs on for 3 points. Danny Pitbull, how close can you get without the ball going in the back of the net?
Sorry, we've just jumped over to this game. 8-7, Peterson has scored 2 goals in quick succession. There is time for an equaliser. But those chances at the end, Neat, you saw the celebration there.
You have to score. You have to score.
He had about 3 of those where I thought he's destined to concede there. But this is the goal from Peterson. In behind, Chouameni there.
Oh, lovely.
Takes his time with the little delicate chip over the goalkeeper. 3 minutes left, plus additional time, Rich.
We left this game at 5-8, and we thought it's done.
No way.
PHG, and he's never done offside just on that occasion. I think the referee will continue to play here. And Levy Finn is in a real tough predicament here, because do you go forward? Do you try and get that 9th goal and completely seal the tie, or is possession on the forefront of the mind? I think we just saw there from Neat. You want possession, but you want it in your opponent's third.
Yeah.
As far away from your goal as possible.
From the corner, he did the right thing in going back to recycle. The offside trap was being spammed by Danny Pitbull, but then you don't keep the ball here. It's just risky. Yes, it can work out, obviously, and I think in this situation it will, because there's not enough time, but you need to get the ball into the opposition's half.
15 goals. It's a battle in the opening game. But Levy Finn will come out victorious, 8-7 with the victory. 3 points on the board, and Even at this early stage, Ryan, 3 points feels huge.
Yeah, it does. Get points on the board early is very, very important. But then opposite side of things for P8 Zin, it obviously isn't the end of the tournament. It's only the first round. And Anders said it in his interview. It really doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Well, there you have it, Ryan. Some incredible matches, some incredible performances, and the actual roll on right after this very short break.
I'm spending the next 2 months in Paris and already deeply regretting sleeping through 4 years of French in high school. But c'est la vie! To avoid being an ignorant American tourist, I found myself a French tutor to really help me learn the language. And there she is now! Everyone, this is Kitty, aka La Petite Sean, and a little bit of Duolingo on the flight over. I'm excited to learn from you today! Where's your beret?
I don't have one.
Phone!
Look, I was told I'd be talking about Rainbow Six and Valorant teams today, but instead they put me with this Emily in Paris knockoff. I think I can make it work, but she called me her little dog? Okay, so we are at a flower shop. We call that in French des fleurs.
Des fleurs.
Okay, you know what? It's okay. We will try with another word, huh?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Fougère.
Forgery. I can't wait to visit all of these cute restaurants all around Paris, or brasiers, as the French call them, right?
Yeah, that's the words.
Okay, so if I wanted to order a baguette, what would I say?
You would say, voulez-vous
Voulez-vous
coucher
coucher
avec moi?
avec moi? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Perfect.
I'm gonna go try it out. Ooh, this is really cute. How would I ask to try this on?
Oh, actually, you can say, je mange des gens.
Je mange des gens. Okay. Ah, je mange des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens.
Des gens mange. Je mange des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens, c'est une robe.
C'est. Where am I messing
Vous
up?
voulez essayer la robe?
No. Je mange des gens, s'il vous plaît.
Non, on mange pas les gens chez moi.
Kitty has been the best teacher so far. I feel like I'm picking up the language really quickly. I mean, whenever I speak with real French people, they seem so surprised by how good my accent is. I'm doing très bon.
Oh là là, et puis ça y est, je suis américaine. On a compris que t'es américaine. On a compris.
Kitty, I did it! He even gave it to me for free.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Come with me, yeah.
What did I get? Do we get jam? Okay, so as I get it, the French don't really like the American tourists, right?
Not really.
So what can I say to have them truly embrace me as a local?
Just tell them.
Mbappé a plumer! Kitty, it worked! They've accepted me as one of their own! I'm off to see Paris, and it's all thanks to you!
Bon débat.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Welcome back, everyone. We have 2 rounds done, completed, and I am joined by the one and only Levyfin. I just watched that match up against Piegin. You were down 4-2, but you were able to crawl your way back into that competition. Talk to me how you're feeling after round 1 for you.
Yeah, obviously I'm very happy. I won my first match, had a great start into the World Championship against a really, really good player, Piegin. As you said, like, it was up, but I just tried to focus on my game. Could won the game at the end. So yeah, obviously I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to the round 2 against Karim.
Now let's talk about how you even qualified to be here. You went through play-ins, which I know was very grueling. You beat Agueric in that final match. Do you find that gives you a little bit of advantage? Because you played 10 days ago. A lot of these other players played in their leagues months ago.
Yeah, true. Of course, I don't know if it's an advantage, but as you said, like, I had 10 days before, like, started to get in touch with the competition again, to being on a big stage. So I don't know if it's an advantage. I feel good. As you said, I beat Geric also against a Brazilian guy. And now I'm happy to be here. And yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to the next games.
Well, next games, let's talk about that one. Karim is back as your next opponent. So what is your mindset going into that one?
Like, the mindset is like, it is like every game playing against a really good player. Won the E-League Odd this year with his teammate Marwan. I don't know how he played his first game, but I just try to focus on my game, collecting points and going through the group stage.
All right, well, Levy, you've had a fantastic start. I'll let you get back to those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Kicking things off with 3 points is not a bad start for the Red Bull. Let's take a look at some of the bigger action, though. And I heard that you two gentlemen have some crappy rosters. So I hold this card close to my chest, my heart normally. Shells, do you need this more, or do you think...
What's Casey doing here, man? I just had enough from her over there. But
yeah, did you just toss Casey's 99 gold straight off the set?
I don't know where it's gone, actually.
Yes. Case, sorry about that. We're going to be diving into this matchup a little bit deeper here. And, of course, that was the closest fight. But were there any other surprises from the set for you?
Yeah, I mean, there was a massive surprise in that round. It was the lowest-ranked player here, Milkalov. What a result against a man who we were speaking about at the start. Oberon is nuts, by the way. He is one of the best FC players around. A massive, massive result for Milkalov.
Yeah, I mean, Oberon, you would not expect him, I guess, dropping the first game against an opponent like Milkalov. But like we said before in this competition, every player here can potentially go and win it. And there's no joke for them making it this far. So for Milkalov, he probably has that little upper hand where everyone's looking at him thinking that's the 3 points they need to get. And he can use that to his advantage. And what a start for him.
Now, you guys told me that Anders is in the GOAT conversation, that he is looking to go 5 for 5. But you didn't tell me he is this confident on stage. The man's a little bit sassy after each goal.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a performer as well as a great FC player. We've seen it throughout the whole season. He's fantastic 8-4 win against Redlac. I mean, let's push it over, though, shall we, to Samu Gamer, because we haven't really spoken about him much. Shells, I know during previous FC titles, you've said you're a massive fan of Samu Gamer, in particular the Dark Arts. Yeah. He got the job done in the first game.
And with Samu Gamer, like I said, he's for so young at his age, 17, 18, his whole game is complete. He can do it all, mechanically, defensively, scoring goals, crossing skills, the Dark Arts, as you said. And I think for Samu Gamer, he has that little ego in him, that little confidence, the arrogance you need to compete against the Anders and the Manny Bachors if you want to go far. And I think for Samu Gamer, this could be the tournament to go all the way.
All right, we've got some highlights rolling out here in just a little bit. Until we get to those, anyone you want to give a shout out to? I know we've got fans from all over the world watching the world's best here at FC Pro.
Oh, you know what? I've got to give a shout out to the guys who were making so much noise last year, and that was the Team Falcons guys. They brought the vibes in Saudi when we were there last year in Riyadh, and it was amazing. I know they'll be watching in their numbers. They would have been so happy with the way Anders played in the last game. I mean, this man as well, Shells. Bonanno, he got his first win on the board.
Yeah.
He's got Jafonso next.
Yeah, and I think that was a big game for Bonanno because you know you're playing your teammate in the next round and you want to start off with a win. Of course, you want to beat your teammate as well, but you don't want to have more pressure on facing your teammate if he had a bad result first game. And against Casio, winning that game, who came through the play-ins, that's a big start from Bonanno. And now we're going on to Danny Pitbull and Neat.
How did Neat do so far in his opening set?
I mean, Neat's got the win as well. I mean, he came through the play-ins like we said. I think the players who come through the play-ins have that little edge because they've been here, they've done it before. Danny Pitbull, of course, one of the nicest men in the scene, but also a very, very good FC player. Not the best start for him. But in this league stage, there's plenty of games to go. I want to ask you something. You said to me, I mean, that Matty against Jafonso fixture, which is coming up a little bit later, this is an individual competition, albeit these guys are competitors. They're winners, both of them. How much thought is going to go into that? Because surely both players in that game are going to try and win, no matter what. And look, from a Man City Esports perspective, they would like the results to, the players to be getting as many points as they can. But in this one, you just got to sit back and let them go at each other.
Yeah, of course, it's friendly competition. I think it's tough for the boys because they work all season together through all year. So you don't really want to play your team at any times. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. So these boys have to face each other. But luckily, it's in the group and league phases. And hopefully, they can avoid each other in the knockouts if they get past. But it's a big game for them both. And they want to try and, I guess, have the bragging rights on who's the #1 at Man City.
Yeah, bragging rights indeed. Of course, Guga Faraz is also part of the Man City Esports division as well. He's representing the team that he qualified with whilst being here. I mean, one thing that we've seen, Bucket, is the goals, the amount of goals. We can't say it enough. There are so many goals going in every single moment.
High-scoring games across the board, and we are just 2 sets in. Reminder, we are going to do 3 sets today. That is 3 matches on each stage, and of course, we have 3 days of this. So, at the end, we mentioned you want to have at least 7 points, maybe 8 points after watching this opening round. Shells, what are we feeling?
Yeah, you can't really put a number on it, but I think 7 is a safe bet. I think if you got 8, you're definitely
good.
Through. If you don't make it through with 8, I'm sorry, brother. That's not on me. But I think you can't really put a number on it. But 8 or 7.
7, you reckon 7 points is getting you in that 24?
There's a few. There might be 1 or 2 7 that might not make it.
So what about top 8 then? Because that
top 8's got to be double digits.
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a very, very important aspect of it, which is the tiebreaker style, the head-to-heads and everything like that within this format. This is the best format in FC, in my opinion. We've seen it.
You like the format?
I absolutely love this format. I'm so glad that it's here at the World Championships. It's also nice to see tactically how the players sort of react to where they are in the leaderboards. Of course, everyone wants that top 8, but I mean, if you get in the top 8, you go into a round.
You're guaranteed top 16.
Yeah, you're guaranteed top 16. So prize money wise, you're happy, but you also have to play your first game against an opponent who's already had a game in the round before.
But didn't you play 6 games to get there? Isn't that enough?
I hear it, but on the day, Shells, you're better placed to answer this, right? On the day, would you rather have a first game to settle in, be confident, and then play against someone who's in the top 8? Of course, if you're playing the top 8 player, you're playing one of the best in the competition so far. Or would you rather be in that top 8, in that 16, and come up against someone who's warm, who's confident, who's just had a great win to get there? What are you thinking?
I'm a 50-50 man because I like.
I'm gonna sit on the fence. That's not allowed on my desk. I need a A or a B. Pick one.
Okay, hear me out. I think I would take the skip of the round just because it takes a lot of pressure.
Right.
But
I can prep for both people too.
But having the advantage of maybe winning the round before, it is a bit of an unfair advantage in a way. But I like to relax, so let me skip around, please.
Just take the prize money you're
I'm good, bro.
In this sport, how much are you guys prepping for your opponent? Are you purely playing your game? Because there's counter picks in other titles where you're making sure that your opponent can't play their perfect game.
Surely you've got to just prepare to score goals in this game.
Yeah.
Speaking of scoring goals, I'm told our casters are ready to call some. The next round of games is ready. Take it away, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very much, guys.
Rich, just one thing. Shells, how is that fence you're sitting on? How is it? How is it looking like? Come on, we're here to give predictions. Rich, I know you're a man of predictions. It's Umut against MS Dosari. How is it looking for you?
It's just such a tough one because you don't know what to expect from Dosari. Obviously, you can talk about his accolades all day long. 2018 world champion, multiple time champion across the board. However, when it comes down to it, he's also the chairman of Team Falcons. He's also a very, very, very busy man. But he's still applying himself. He finished second in the ESPL Saudi Pro League title behind that man right there, Abu Maka, a once Falcon, now no longer. So, if I were to give a prediction, I think Umut wins. However, I'm more intrigued to see what the King of the Jungle can offer us.
I agree 100%. I'm curious to see how MS Dosari is going to play in here, because I know, as you mentioned, being the CEO, being the chairman of Falcons.
Busy guy.
He's a busy guy, but I know he's been working with Javi Villar for a couple of years, but specifically for these last couple of months. I'm curious to see how he's going to approach this FC Pro World Championship as well.
I'll take you a little peek behind the curtain. Obviously, Team Falcons, this is almost their tournament. They've won it twice now. They are looking for the ultimate prize, the club championship, the top spot. There was maybe a conversation saying, you want to come on and maybe talk about that? How important is it that Team Falcons have a great representation in the FC Pro World Championships? I'm not the CEO of Team Falcons this week. I'm a player, was his answer. I think that shows maybe the mindset that we're going to get from Mr. MS Dosari. On the other side of the stage, you can't not talk about the 2022 World Champion, Umut, from RB Leipzig. You talk about those best of all time debates. He's not really in that conversation, Umut, but he's right on the bubble. A title here maybe puts him towards the top of the tree.
He's not far away either, especially if you take into account the 2v2 and the 1v1. He's up there, but he's been suffering throughout the whole last 2 years, I would say. With
his first World Championships in a little while.
Yes. Even though he's playing good, he's not up to the caliber of GOAT material in the last couple of years, but we're on the way, Richard.
We certainly are. Umut will be kicking from left to right in the RB Leipzig strip, and from right to left, Team Falcons, MS Dosari. There's always a buzz when this man takes to the stage. A decade of brilliance within FC. And the 2026 World Championship once again. MS Dosari is here to play as he opens up with Adam Water on the edge of the box, looking for angles to maybe find Jamal, and it's a finesse shot into a group of bodies. We've got an early breakthrough here between Guga and Emre Yilmaz. And it's the young star, runner-up on many occasions this season. What an opening season he's had, Guga.
It seems like he's always just one step away from championship material at the moment. I mean, he's been top 2, top 4 throughout the whole year, especially in Portugal. So I'm curious to see how Guga is going to perform in here, Paris, because it has been a great breakthrough year for him.
Commonwealth Libertadores, top 4. Obviously, the Portuguese Pro League finished second with Santa Clara. Comes into the play-ins and performs incredibly well.
Incredible.
Other matches in this round, Alihan against Abu Maka, they're going head-to-head. We've got Paulo Neto up against Cristobal. Obviously the match in focus here that we are looking at. A Ligue 1 affair between Marwan and Brice. And there is Abu Maka going 1-0 up in the opening 5 minutes as MS Dosari kickstarts his campaign with Jamal Musiala.
It had to be him. I do feel like Musiala is a player that really suits the playstyle from MS Dosari, especially with the passing playstyles and the passing stats. So I do feel like, even though Dos always approaches the game in a way in which he played back in 2019, I do feel like you gotta adapt to the meta, and I feel like he will do this year. And we had a question on the chat by Kira Sensei, Rich. Is MS Dosari on the same team as Anders?
correct. They absolutely are.
That's Team Falcons. As we see the replay coming in from Guga against Emre. That's Jude Bellingham making it 2-0. Guga, great start.
Emre, typically a player who races out the blocks. And a bit of frustration creeping in there from Emre Yilmaz, 2-0 down. The final match, just to update you on, K1 John and Ilian from PSG Team Vitality. They've kicked off 0-0, only 2 minutes on the clock. After this round, Grav, every single player, all 36, will have played one game. We'll start to get a decent picture of how that table's looking. But so many points left up for grabs.
We have 5 rounds left, so let's see how everything turns up to be. As we see the replay coming in from Rodri, making it 1-1 for Umut. Curious, because I didn't think Rodri was going to start for a lot of players in here. I did think we're going to see a lot of Jude Bellingham, a lot of Xhaka.
Yep.
And Rodri was not a pick that I expected, to be fair. We see Emre Yilmaz making it 2-1 with Dembele, the 98 rated item.
Looks a bit frustrated, doesn't he, Emre Yilmaz there? Long ball over the top to find Saka. Now the Granit Xhaka item that you mentioned brought into play. There is Roger with the 5 playstyle pluses, the path to glory with Rodri after, I'm sure it won't be the first time this weekend, Spain's victory, as Grav has been telling us. Kika Nazareth, play lock pass in the middle of the pitch, plenty of space, and a 2-1 lead for Umut.
Great goal, and that's something that we should definitely discuss during this whole week of FC Pro World Championship action. And it's the comparison between the likes of Kika Nazareth, the likes of Salma Parayuelo. As we see that great chance by Jude Bellingham. Only 3 playstyle pluses, but they are still meta, and they are still being used in here, which I think explains, Rich, that if you got 3 really good playstyles, and then you have good stats as well, I do think it's enough.
Good stats. In Salma's case, the accelerate type, the body type, for example, all those sort of small details would outweigh. You would rather have 3 playstyle pluses that are incisive, finesse, and
rapid,
rather than 5 playstyle pluses with 2 of those maybe being power shot and long throw, as MS Dosseri levels up the tie once again. Kika Nazareth, a name that if you didn't know, get to know.
You should, definitely. And I mean, we were talking about the way DOS approaches the game, especially from 2018-19, and this was a great example. That was a counter-attack, attacking on the wing, an easy pass back, and the tap in by Kika Nazareth. A similar explanation to Salma Parayuelo.
So we'll keep that in, actually, with Yamal on the far side of the pitch there. 98 rated Yamal. Phenoms. So many different items in the team here. You've got Team of the Seasons, Path to Glories, Summer Stars, icons, heroes.
Oh.
You name it, they're featured. Here is Jude Bellingham. Dangerous inside the box. Cast your eyes to the bottom left corner there. Doesn't fall to him in the end. And a take-ahead goal from K1 John. Leads 2 goals to 1. Is that just offside there from Umut? Couple of centimetres too early.
Curious, because another narrative into this game is the use of the centre backs, because on one side we do have Maldini and Araujo. Araujo is the most picked centre back in here at the FC Pro World Championships. On the other side we have Jab Stam, and I'm confident it's Upamecano, but I do think it's the position that's gonna change the most in here.
I mean, with you look at the fullbacks, a lot of people are using Mark Pubel in at right back.
Yeah.
Obviously, the play styles, the body type, the lengthy player that he is. I've also seen Araujo in at right back as well. Kika Nazareth just on side, twisting and turning, trying to get back on, but looks like Pacho there coming across.
It was William Pacho, not Upamecano, sorry. But it is a nice topic, Rich, because I do really like Araujo as a right back. Even though offensively, as we just see this, great save by Casillas. I do think Araujo is great as a fullback, but I just don't really like him as a centre back. My opinion. I would probably go with either Japstam, which in my opinion is the greatest, or maybe Maldini. And if you want to save some coins...
What about Lacroix? We saw him a lot at the LCQ.
You could go with him if you want to save a few coins, but just not sure about Araujo.
There is Kiko with the finesse shot, and I'm sure people will be asking in the chat, the Summer Stars 99 rated Spanish items, for example, they were out of eligibility when the teams were drafted. The best player to go is maybe get a path to glory. And Laporte, he's now got 5 player style pluses, and he was eligible to be in, but he's not selected that many times.
I don't think he has a great body type, Laporte. We just see that.
What about Van Dijk? No Van Dijk, team of the season?
I did try him at home, and in my opinion, out of all the centre-backs that I used, for me, Van Dijk was the best. He was so strong. He was just physically, he was outstanding. But I will say he was a bit slow.
Chat, you let us know. Who's a player, 15 million coin budget, who is guaranteed to be in the team? Is it Johan Cruyff? Is it Pele? Is it R9? Ruud Gullit, Patrick Vieira? You can name the icons as long as we go live here over the next 5 days. See the stats there at a quick glance. Possession in Umert's favour as he goes into this pause, leading 4 goals to 2. Let me talk to you very quickly as the chat comes in with some of those suggestions through the other matches that are taking place. Marwan and Brees 1-1 at this current moment. Ilian 2, K1 John 2. You've got Guga 4, Emre Yilmaz 3, and Paolo Neto and Cristobal. Can we go to that game if possible? Game 4, because there is goals galore in that matchup between Paolo Neto and Cristobal. It's 5-4 at the moment. Chris leading. While we just wait for this pause, let's jump into it in full and we can see how this match has taken place so far.
It is 2-2 to Ilian at the moment in this match against K1 John. I will say that Ilian, for the last 2 years, was 1 game away from qualifying to the World Championship. I don't know if you remember back in FC24.
Yep.
At Dallas, he was just 1 game away from qualifying. And it was devastating to seeing him lose. Same at the Illican finals last year. So I'm happy for him. I do feel like he deserves it, and I feel like he could be one of the dark horses in here in the tournament.
I'm sure if he makes it into a deep running of the tournament as well, those Parisian fans will make their way out for Ilian, representing Vitality and also PSG.
We have a comment on the Twitch chat as well, Richard, with 50 million budget, he has to be R9. I don't know about that. R9 this year.
Doesn't have the playstyles?
He doesn't really.
Well, we jump back into this game with a replay here. MS Dossery, 4-3 now. Lamine Yamal with a little tucked toe poke of a finesse shot past the onrushing goalkeeper. As we're going to see the moment that put K1 John ahead here for Austin. Umit coming forward once again. We're on the precipice of half-time with only 1 additional minute. Can MS Dossery go into the break with a level ball game? No, he will not. As Emre Yilmaz levels the tie, 4-4.
Great goal by Emre Yilmaz as we just saw. Josh just attacking slowly on the wing, trying to look for the last kick of the first half. And I will say that even though it seems like Umut has been dominating the match, Dos is still alive. It's 4-3 down, just 1 goal down, and it could be on for a better second half as we just jump over to this Ilian K1 John, which is still 2-3.
We just see the scores coming through the right-hand side of your screen there. Marwan 2-1 against Brees. Cristobal still leading 5-4 against Paolo Neto.
Great match.
Guga and Emre level 4-4. We just saw the equalising goal from the 2-time Champions League winner Emre Yilmaz, and Abu Maka leading 3-1 against RB Leipzig's Ali Han Lion. There are all the updates from around the grounds with half-time approaching. Grav, what are you made of this first 45? I'm going to ask you in particular on the Umut and MS Dosri game. It's the game we've seen in the fullest so far, as this chance will fall for nothing. What's your thoughts at the break?
I will say that I like the way Umut's approaching the game. I like the way he's holding the ball. I remember the stat, which was 73% of possession. So I feel like he's doing the right things. He's second man pressing well, and when he has the chance to look for that pass to Salma Parayuelo, he's just going for it, and he's scoring goals. But you can never count the king of the jungle out. So let's see what happens in the second half.
Well, it's the king of Sao Paulo, Paulo Neto, the Commonwealth E-Libertadores champion that we jump to now. His performances at the World Championships, for a player of his quality, not quite been able to get into that quarter-final, semi-final stage. Could this be the tournament that he does go a couple of steps further, Graf?
It could be. Could be. I mean, you never know, especially with the tournament which is played during 5 days. I do feel like you could see the progression of the players throughout the whole week. I'm curious to see that, because I feel like when we are playing, let's just say, on a 2-day tournament, usually... what a ball.
Bottom left corner, just offside, as Guga once again goes back in front.
I feel like when back to my point, I feel like when we're watching a 2-day tournament, you don't really see that much progression from players, but with a 5-day one.
I mean, it's quite obvious the question I'm going to ask from you, when the best time to peak is it's going to be on Sunday, right?
Yes.
But you might not get to Sunday.
It could happen.
Throughout the 3 days of groups, when's the best day if you're going to get 6 points? Is it just 6 points at any point, or are you wanting day 2 or day 3 when you start to see how the table's looking?
As we just see this goal being scored by Chris De Boer, it was a bit crappy, but it counted. Scrappy, sorry. I wanted to... That question was really good. I would say, in my opinion, it's day 2. Rich, yep. Day 2, you could really, you could get 6 points, and I feel like it's the right moment between playing good enough in the first day, which would make you get 1 point out of 6, then you get 6 points. I feel like the pressure is off your shoulders on day 3.
It's all about managing that pressure, managing that momentum and confidence.
You never know. What would you say? Day 1, 3, 2?
5.
5.
Win the tournament.
That's you.
Yeah. I'm only here for one thing. FC Pro World Championship.
Right on.
1,000 Esports World Cup Club Championship points to an organisation as well. Straight from kickoff, Paulo Neto down the other end. Jude Bellingham, there was the finish at the near post, 6-6. Let's turn our attention into this game for a little while then. It was the match that we started this round of fixtures off with in the third part, shall we say, of round 1. As Ilian levels the tie. Is that onside? Not quite. Pause comes in. Talking about the pauses, because a lot of people, this is a moment where your opponent pauses it on Foot Champions. You look down at your phone. You get frustrated. Why are you pausing? Come on, play the game, play the game. In the pro scene, these are maybe the most important moments of the match.
Probably. I feel like those are the moments which define matches, especially if, as we've seen from the 6 matches, it's really usually is a goal difference in these instances. So I feel like I'm really a big fan of just pausing the game for 90 seconds, talking with your coach and trying to look for a way in which you can approach those last 20 minutes of the game. I feel like you could... Sometimes when you're playing and you're on that tunnel vision, you don't really know what you're doing wrong. And the right words from your coach could mean 3 points. So I don't really get why players skip replays, they don't pause the game, because I feel like that plays such a huge impact
Yeah, managing almost the pace of the match, as that could have got very, very dangerous at the back there for K1 John for a split second. Does get away with it with some good composed passing out of the back. That pause has been cued there, or should I say demanded by Ilian. Just see those runners off the ball here. Not the best of attacks from K1 John, and Ilian will have an opportunity with the mastery of the player locks that he does have to be able to carve open an opportunity here. Look at Bacchio twisting back inside. As we see the leveler there from Guga, 6-6 now that game lies. As we cast our attentions back to Ilian at the near post, Casillas with a big save, and actually saves the corner. As we approach this final furlong of action here in the opening round of the FC Pro World Championships, a pause comes in. Let me talk you through the other matches as we currently see them.
Go for it.
Marwan just concedes there against Brice. That's a replay. That's 3-3 right now. We have got Umut leading 5-4 against MS Dossery. And Abu Maka leading 4-2 against Ali Han as Umut comes in with a goal on the score sheet, 6-4.
Massive goal for Umut.
You see, 4 out of the 6 games he pauses.
You were mentioning how those are the defining moments of the match, and it's 100% truth as we just see this goal by Kika Nazareth with an incisive pass coming in from Dembele.
Runner-up at last year's World Championships right there in Brice. Not had the season really that he would have wanted. FC Pro Open didn't go his way. You look then at the E-League and a disappointing, by his standards, performance there.
Definitely.
Had to go into the play-ins, had to get it done. And coming into the World Championships last year, he wasn't a name that you were thinking he's going to make not only Championship Sunday, but make a run to the top 2. He could do it again. There's nothing stopping him.
No. It's a similar situation to last year. No one expecting anything from him. And I feel like that takes a huge pressure off your shoulders. So let's see how he approaches it. Because I feel like if he, let's just say he matches Nicolas again in a quarterfinal, Nicolas won
ex-champion madam.
the game the same way he did.
Nicolas Pesari for Team Falcons from Saudi Arabia. Red Bull from Germany.
Umut with just over 20 minutes left on the clock, leading against MS Dossery.
League states round 1.
And is it those now in the final sort of 15-20 minutes?
After goal.
The FC Pro Opens of the last couple of years, the continuous, relentless qualifying campaigns that Umut has been on to get to the World Championships that may just get him over the line.
Let's see how it is, because we just see
what a game.
Scoring the 8th goal of the match for him so far. I'm curious to see how Dos approaches the game with a 2-goal difference lose at the moment, because he's brilliant at second-man pressing and pressing high up the pitch, but it's really hard against Umut because he'll trigger players and he'll go forward. So let's see who's able to prevail. I do feel like Dosari is going to score at least another goal. The question is, will Umut do the same, which could definitely do.
Absolutely. I was just looking there at Cristobal in his games. At the E-Champions League, I don't know if you remember some of the matches that we saw from him. Just goals galore, 8-3, 9-6, 7-8. The year before at the E-Champions League. This year, again, just goals, goals, goals with Chris. But it's probably not the game you want to play, maybe against Paolo Neto.
Probably.
K1 John with a great block there from Ilian to stop a 5-3 lead. There's all the matches. There's the emotion starting to come out of the players as well, as they all know how important getting that opening 3 points, that opening start to the FC Pro World Championships really is.
Oh, just
No.
Mistake from Dosseri, punished.
Oh!
Incredible! He pulled Araujo back there, and he's flicked it from underneath his own crossbar.
Clearance.
The veteran, the wily veteran.
സമ്മതിച്ചേ പറ്റൂ.
Keeping himself in the game. Have a look at this.
The replay.
Lovely build-up play once again from Umut, just probing and prodding Dosseri on the edge of the box. And he looks like he could find his way in. Guga there with another goal between him and Emre Yilmaz.
Great defense by Umut.
Jude into Kika Nazareth, great block.
Great block as well. The player switching first to the right back, then against the centre back. That was great from the 2022 World Champ.
And those live updates cycling through on the right-hand side of your screen. Alihan, Abu Maka, 4-4 in their matchup. This is Cristobal and Paulo Neto. Maybe Cristobal does want to get involved in a goal-scoring frenzy against Paulo Neto. 10-7. Drives forward once again. Usman Dembele causing Casillas to pull out some quick reflexes. This game feels as though it's just teetering Umut's way.
Definitely has, as we see the replay coming in from Lionel Messi. Marwan to make it 5-4 in an all-French matchup. You can see the frustration building up from Greece. And this has to be it. This has to be the final chance.
Yeah, 2 goals in 3 minutes.
He needs to score in this, Rich.
And not only needs to score, Grant, but he needs to score pretty quickly as well. Pretty sharpish. Yamal, Paraleo finds the finesse. 6-5. Can Umut hold on? There is black shirts flying forward. The team press activated. But with only 1 minute on the clock, you just don't know if he's going to get a chance.
Oof. The second man press.
There's no passes there for Umut. He gets away with it, threads the needle. And 3 points on the board.
Wow. Game management.
Perfect, really. Risky.
It was.
But worked out.
Flawless performance by the 2022 World Champ. Deserved win over MS Dosseri. And 3 points for him. So we just jump over to this Alihan matchup.
What else are we seeing then across the games here? Ilian lost 4-3 to K1 John. Umut 6, Abu Maka, MS Dosseri 5, as Abu Maka, we see on the screen right here. Embroiled in action. 4-4 at this current moment. That was the goal that we had just seen a replay from them. Once the game's back underway with live action, we will join it. As for Emre Yilmaz and Guga, 8-7, Guga leads.
Wow. I don't think we've seen Emre Yilmaz dropping many points at a league table.
Not at all.
No.
He's usually top of the pile. 15 out of 15, 18 out of 18, 24 out of 24, whatever sort of group phase you want to call it, whatever league stage you want to call it, whatever it is, he's usually at the top. As you said, Grav, two players that did compete in the E-League Championships this season. As for Marwin, he was victorious, lifting that trophy aloft with AS Monaco. Greece turns the corner. Benitez, what a save! What a save! And even as credible as that save is, it should have been a goal.
It should have been one. It was maybe the lack of the playstyle plus from Fiamma Benitez, but I thought it was a goal, Rich.
Playing for the last attack here now is Brees. Has he gone just a second or two too early though, Grav?
Maybe, because we know how Brees likes to play the game, so he'll comfortably pass it on the back. He'll invite pressure, but he knows when it's time to go, he'll go forward.
But the white shirts are edging forward. 2 additional minutes. I don't know if there's a way out for him here.
Not sure.
Marwin trying to step on him, trying to limit the space, limit the passing options.
It's gotta be now.
And he has just got out to the halfway line here, Brees. That ball does turn over, but it turns over the Parisians' way. The game will just, unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for Brees by the looks of it, frustration from last year's runner-up.
Nobody's happy. Brees is not happy. Marwan is not happy. We're not happy.
I think both of them looked at this game and thought, that's 3 points.
Definitely.
Abu Maka leads here against Alihan Lyon. Virtual Bundesliga runner-up this season. That's how he got his spot for World Championships. As for Abu Maka, once again, victory in the ESPL. In Saudi Arabia.
That's curious.
Saudi Arabia.
Or stamina, not so tough.
High depth.
Probably with the constant press on as well. Oh, it's a tough situation now.
We've seen Abu Maka the last couple of years when we've been over in Riyadh as well. That crowd give him that extra buzz.
Yes.
It'll be slightly more subdued here.
Yes.
In Paris. Do you feel as though that may play an impact, or maybe the pressure's off him a little bit, not being in front of his hometown fans?
It'll definitely play a huge impact. I feel like in last year in the group stage, it benefited him, but then on the knockouts, felt like the pressure got to him. So I'm curious to see if it's gonna go the other way, if he's able to make it into the top 24.
I remember the FC Pro Open. Whenever we would watch Abu Maka, sometimes you just gotta sit back and go, wow. Some of the combination play, the passing, the intelligence. He was one of the first players to incorporate the chip in as well. It was so smooth, it was so slick. If he can start to replicate that, there's no stopping him this week.
No.
As for Alihan Lyon, the man is dangerous in every area of the pitch. Inside the final third, one of the most clinical players we have. A finesse shot at every opportunity, it would seem, for Alihan. And he will probably be looking at this season thinking, maybe there should be a title to my name, E-Champions League, VBL. Just fell short on 2 occasions. Abu Maka at the near post. Casillas dives across his goal. A spring in the step.
I thought I was going in, Rich, sorry.
Short corner played here. It's a very, very slow recycle of possession. Those live updates coming through at the side of the screen. Full-time results.
Oh, what a pass.
Pings over to Saka, and he will get himself a corner. Would you like to see a different variation on this?
I thought so. Maybe trying to be a bit more direct, but he's going for the same one.
You don't want Musiala back there as well as the last man, do you?
That's a risky choice, let's just say.
He's just lost possession there, and Musiala is going to be called into defending. as Alihan comes forward. There is Alihan's Jamal Musiala in the offensive area of the pitch, linking up with Kika Nazareth. An incredible block, it's scrappy. And Abu Maka remains calm under pressure to play his way out.
And the right back is now out of position. I feel like the center midfielders are too high up the pitch. This could be a great attack.
Last attack, 5-5.
Yes, he's on.
Usman Dembele didn't play the pass, goes back to Salma. Could this be it? Moro scoop turn.
Yo, pass.
Close control, Dembele on the floor.
Oh, kidilan goal.
Doesn't matter where he is. Abu
Maka.
Maka
Oh,
always finds a way
kidilan,
to
kidilan.
clutch up in the big moments. The last kick of the game. Abu Maka steals 3 points away from Alihan Lyon.
Take a bow, Abu Maka. I mean, wow. I'm just speechless.
Gravis speechless.
Kidilan.
I need
Kidilan
a
goal.
rest.
Kidilan goal.
Round 1 has wrapped up here at the FC Pro World Championships. After the break, Puckett, FG and Shells will guide you through what round 1 has offered. And we're only 1 game down here in Paris. We'll see you right after this break.
Play is in our DNA.
Break, camera.
Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
PUBG, and of course the lovely Glitter once again to give us a bit of an update on what that looks like for the Club Championship points this time around.
Yeah, and we've got a lot going on actually. We're in day 2 out of day 3 for our group stage, and after today, we actually have VP sitting at the very top of our leaderboard, which is good when it comes to the storylines we're talking about for Club Championship. However, we also have the defending champs, Twisted Minds, at the top of our leaderboard with still 1 more series left to play in the group stage, as well as AGAL, who were a team that everybody thought could potentially take the whole tournament home. They had a really rough start to their first day and the first half of the series today. Massive bounce back in the second half of the series, completely clutched up and I think saved their chances of making their way through to the finals. And they're currently in 3rd on the leaderboard right now, so we're definitely keeping our eyes on them.
All right, that sounds like a lot of action actually happening over on your stage specifically for the Club Championship, which is super exciting and ties into ours as well perfectly. So if you want to have more updates for Club Championship, just make that you stick around because we will, of course, provide them.
Welcome back, everyone. I am so pleased to be joined by a previous world champion, the 2022 world champion. It is Umut. Umut, I know we haven't seen you on this stage since 2022 when you won it. So how are you feeling being back at the World Championships?
Of course, I feel great to be back. I know I also deserved to be on this stage. It's the biggest tournament of the year. I mean, everyone prepares just for this tournament. Also the tournament with the most prize money, so everyone is just hyping up for that. I'm happy to be again here and give my best to win it.
All right, let's talk about that first match that you had. It was two previous world champions, 2022 versus 2018. You went up against MS Dostary. I mean, it was quite the close matchup. How are you feeling in that one?
Yeah, to be honest, it was a really tough matchup. It was 50-50. It also could go another way. Yeah, I didn't play it that good, to be honest. I think he also didn't play his peak, so we both was struggling a little bit. At the end, I managed to win. I also did a little bit of time wasting. In the end, I played good then, but overall, it was like a really tough match, a good opponent, and yeah.
Well, you have one match done today, one more to go. Next round is up against K1 John. We saw him play over in EMLS this year, so how are you feeling going into that matchup?
Yeah, I played also in previous years a lot against K1 John. I know a bit about his level. I mean, he's really, really good. So it will be really, really tough. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the match. I know he's good, but I also know I'm good. So we're going to see how the match will end.
Awesome, Umit. It's so great to have you back here at the World Championships. I'll let you get back to it, get to those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Case, and congratulations to Umut. A big matchup there. 2022 world champ going up against the Falcons 2018 world champion. Dostary close, but Falcons not going to score in this round. Thoughts on what we just witnessed?
Yeah, I think for the first game for both the players, I think for Umut, he would favor that matchup against Dos, but I think with Dos, you can never really count him out. We don't really get to see him as much in action as we used to, but every time he does get to these events, he does show that he still got it. It's a tough loss for him first game on, but he still has a lot to prove to himself.
FG, as we take a look at some of the results, how do you finish with a draw after starting up 5-0?
Listen, I'm the king of that. I'll probably lose from that position. So, look, I mean, the beauty of this format, like we said, is we are in the league stage. Players will go a bit more gung-ho because, you know, when they've got the lead, they can just try and get as many goals as they can, and your opposition is going to score against you. The result that's standing out to me there is Guga Faraz against Emre Yilmaz. 8-7. Emre Yilmaz, by the way, FC Pro runner-up, EWC champion. He's won the ECL twice. It wasn't his best tournament this year, but that result for Guga is massive, and that is a player that, you know, we have to keep an eye on throughout this this week, Shells, because he's on absolute fire.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see his highlights in a moment. Gentlemen, walk me through the goals on screen.
Yeah, as you can see, he got a short corner, plays it short. Short corners are really effective. You can see the finesse shot being used when you get around the box. Lucky to get the rebound for Umut there, but Umut going forward, we know he causes a lot of chaos, and to stop his through balls, as a clearance off the line there from Dostary to keep him in the game, wasn't there enough. And we move over to this game with Powder Netter, Crystal Ball. Two Team Liquid players going at it. This was a good game as well.
Highest scorer, too, of the round.
Yeah, great game. Great result for Crystal Ball, to be honest. I mean, both players will be feeling confident. Paolo Neto, of course, he knows he's got more games to go in this league stage. We're seeing goals. That's a finish and a half. This one as well, Shells. K1 John coming out on top in this game. He's got Umut next.
Yeah, K1 John, he had a disappointing finish at the EMLS. I know he was looking to win that all, but lost to Redlac there, who's also at this tournament. But to be in first game, who once again, going forward, Ilian Bucci with the player locks, he is so tricky to defend against. And the first game on is a great win for K1 John in this tournament.
Yeah, a lot of confidence to be taken for that. And then that game we were just saying, this finished 8-7 to Guga Faraz. Many people would have backed Emre Yilmaz. We spoke about it. He's the one who's gone through league formats and been unbeaten before in tournaments. Well, not today, but he won't be worried though, because this man is an absolute veteran of the scene, one of the best players around. He'll be confident, won't he?
With the Team Liquid boys, they're so mentally strong. I think, well, Emre Yilmaz, of course, we expect him to be winning every game he plays, but I'm sure he's completely fine. Of course, he's lost his first game of the day. He ain't stressing too much. I'm pretty sure we'll still be seeing his name through the knockouts.
Yeah, of course, and this was a massive result.
Banger.
For our Saudi League champion, Abu Maka. A huge victory against Alian Lion. This one was 5-all in the old French affair. We saw Marwan, he seemed quite disappointed. He's a champion. He's an E-League champion at the moment. He's a current champion. He's used to winning. This is 5-all. He was disappointed in this game, but what a game. What a result for the neutral to be able to watch 10 goals. It was just on his even.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Marwan straight away after the game. He just walked off. He looked livid. First game on, but it shows what it means to the players. Every round matters. and he played against his fellow countryman and didn't manage to get the win, but of course, we'll take a point. You can see Abu Maka scoring 90th minute there. Would love to have heard the Saudi crowd behind him in that moment there.
Update here of who has scored 3 points per win, and we are halfway through day number 1. We've got 3 more matches loading up, and as you take a look, you mentioned some of the big surprises. Who do we expect on that right side of the screen to start scoring now, FG?
I mean, I see Emre Yilmaz. I don't see him being on 0 points for long. I think Jafonso as well. I mean, there's a lot of players there who are on 0 points, to be quite honest with you, who will be scoring. I'll be very surprised, and I can almost guarantee all of our players will get points throughout this league stage. Listen, it might be famous last words, but we are watching the best esports players in the world here at the FC Pro World Championships. But one thing I will say, I have to take it back as well. Jafonso, he lost his first game. He's going up against Matty in the next round. 2 teammates.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Shells, we got to take a look here at our next round of matches. We have 6 more taking place across our stages. And, of course, we've got big names all week long. Who's the scariest one of this round? Who do you want our cameramen to zoom in on?
Oh, I'm seeing a few games. I'm seeing the Italian affair between Obrad and Samu Gamer. I think that's a great matchup. I have to say Danny Pitbull versus Nasada. I think this is the strongest matchup.
Danny just lost as well, so a lot of pressure.
But Danny Pitbull, he's such a great fundamental player, but I think playing against a player like Nasada, listen, Danny Pitbull, you got to bring your A game. But there's a lot of great matchups. Let me finish against Karim as well.
I've got to say as well, this Oberon game against Samu Gamer, that is a massive game from Oberon's perspective.
Samu just won.
The start that Oberon had, he wouldn't have expected potentially to be in this position. Samu Gamer looked absolutely impeccable in his first game. He'll be full of confidence. The beauty of this format is all of our players know that they're at the point. I mean, if you've lost the first game, Shells, you've been a competitor before. There is a little bit more pressure, isn't there?
In a way, yes and no, because I feel like once you lose the first, depending on how you lose, because you kind of can get the nerves out, but of course you want to get the win as soon as possible, but it can start to creep up because you know the rounds get less and less.
Looks like our players are just about ready to go, and I know our casters definitely are. We send it on over to 2 very handsome gentlemen. B. Smith, take it away.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, we are ready to technically kick on with the second part of the first day of action here. This is, of course, the commencing part of round 2. Everyone's played one game on this stage in Paris. They've had different times and different matchups to play. The interesting thing about this format, Ryan, is that you already know the 6 players you're playing. This isn't Swiss, this isn't form-based. If you start well, you play against someone else that's won their game. You already know your 6 matchups for a ball's being kicked here.
I think that's vital, and I think for a lot of these players, they will start to, even though you would try to take each game as it comes, but realistically as a player, I've been there as well, you would look at those matchups and think, where are you likely to get points from? And where those games that you think it might be a little bit too hard, or it's a very difficult game to overcome. And I think for some of these players now, especially when you've got 0 points on the board, you really want to end today with something.
Absolutely. I mean, look, looking across the board, is some of the games we've got. Chat, get involved in this as well. Which game you want to see? Oberon against Samu Gamer. It's the 2 Italians going head-to-head. Redlac looking for a win after that defeat against Anders Vergang. Takes on Kachi. Just saw him a second ago. Danny Pitbull, Nasada playing in his first World Championship. Levy Finn against Karim is back. And then, as we said, Virgil Neat, Hezers, and PHZ. There he is now. You cannot forget, once upon a time, an FC Pro Open champion. I mean, where do you start looking here, Ryan? There are 6 amazing games, and the best part is we can provide you with all the action across all of them.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that Oberon-Samu Gamer matchup. I think that's an interesting one. Samu Gamer sitting top as it stands, obviously the highest goal difference and obviously winning his first game. Oberon, however,
he had a good World Championship last year as well, Samu Gamer.
Samu Gamer was great last year. Champions League as well. He's a very, very efficient player going forward. I think for Oberon as well, I expected a lot from that first game against Milkalov, who was really, really good in that game. And I think especially coming through the last chance qualifier and the play-ins, Oberon would have a lot of expectation to do better.
Believe it or not, the only players in this round that have never faced before is actually Oberon against Samu Gamer. The 2 Italians, believe it or not, have not had a game on a competitive level. Now they match here in the FC Pro World Championships as Musiala gets Nasada underway. And how often are we going to say that? Nasada scoring goals, no matter if it's in Germany, London, or here in Paris. He's back on the score sheet once again.
Yeah, he's probably been my favourite player to watch in terms of entertainment value. You know that you're going to be involved in a game where he scores a lot of goals. He's one of the few players that does take shots from some obscure angles that you may not expect traditional goals to go in from. Like there, I know a lot of people maybe would have opted for something different, but I like the way he goes forward.
Do you think he's so successful though, Ryan, because he doesn't mind taking so many risks, right?
100%. That plays a factor, and I think for some people, it's very easy, even from just rivals at home online, you're scared to take a risk. He's able to take those risks against the best players in the world, where the stakes are the highest. And I think if he's able to have that confidence, he can definitely go really far this year.
Well, this is where we're going to kick off then. The Sada against Danny Pitbull. Remember, if you're not following the FC Pro World Championships here, it's 36 players that are all battling out to be in the top 24. That's by Friday night, late evening here in Paris. If you get through there, then you're in the knockout stages. But you can make your life so much easier, Ryan, can't? If you just place in the top 16 or the top 8, it becomes an easier road.
100% on paper, that is. But I think Anders put it perfectly. I keep referring back to his interview at the start with Casey. Is that sometimes it's down to luck in a way. Like, you could finish top, and let's say your game is going to be between the winner of Emre Yilmaz and Levi David, for example. It could just be down to luck with the way the bracket pans out. But obviously, as a player, you want to do the best you possibly can.
Update. Goal. Or should I say goals. For Catcher, who leads by 2 goals. There could be another goal over here as well, which there will be. I mean, there's a lot of them in Paris, but the Italians are all scoring goals. Danny Pitbull equalises against the Sada. And Catcher, as it stands, is looking very confident over there. 2-0 he leads against Redlac in the other games as well. Karimizbat leads against Levi Finn by a goal to nil. Virgil Neat is 0-0. And the other 2 games of this round, Ryan, haven't kicked off as of yet.
Yeah, Katia 2-0 up against Redlac. Both players coming into this game losing their opening round. Obviously, Anders defeated Redlac, and Katia, he lost against Banana. This was the equaliser for Danny Pitbull, just playing it back across and quick, snappy passing with a bit of fortune there as well to get it past the defender. But it is very important for both Redlac and Katia to get I want to say a win on the board. I know a point isn't bad after 2 games. Relief, more so than anything else.
Off the back of the draft information we got, Ryan, of the 36 players, wow. The brilliant ball through. McTominay, Danny Pitbull leads by 2 goals to 1. But the key takeaways they got from the 36 players that drafted their side. This is the most common 11 players, and if you're a casual player at home and you want to take a thing or two from these best players in the world, yes, they had a 15 million coin budget. Musiala so close to making that 2-2. Casillas in goal. We saw him in the last chance qualifier, how good he has been. A back 4 that looks like this. Nick O'Reilly at left back. It's normally a centre-back partnership with Maldini and Araujo. Pubil in at right back. Salma out on the left. Bellingham and McTominay. That seems to be the double up there. Maybe not Frankie de Jong. Saka on the right. Dembele just in the number 10. And Kika Nazareth is leading the line. That is the most common starting 11 across the 36.
Yeah, there's quite a few positions which I would say are staples, like you're most likely going to see Araujo in the team. Jude Bellingham's in a lot of them as well. This was the equaliser for Nasada, and you would have seen Virgil as well scoring in his game. I think there's a lot of variation at left back.
Araujo, centre back or right back for you?
Centre back. For sure. I think Pubil would be right back. I think the play styles and also obviously being lengthy is very important when defending.
Because that seems to be the debate, doesn't it? It's about the lengthy battle between Salma and Pubil, potentially, right?
Ultimately, at this stage of the game, you're basically selecting your players based on their acceleration type and also the play styles. We're quickly jumping over here to see Levi Finn equalising 20 minutes in against Karimizbat. A little shake of the head there.
Chance, Dembele! How has he not scored the 1 or 2 chances that the Sardis had? Corner played short. Something else on top of that, Ryan, is, I mean, goals are one thing, the lengthy debates.
Sorry, excuse me.
Faster than Pubil. Yeah. I think it's 91 pace against 98 or 99 pace. It's, you know, so often Salma's still going to win that battle.
Even, that's a good bit of defending at the end there, even with the acceleration on the ball, with the analog sprint with Salma, she is so quick. And I think in that situation, it's going to be hard to find anyone that's going to be able to keep up with her. We got a free kick here from Nasada in shooting range.
Goal.
Sancho!
What a goal.
Bang!
Brilliant.
Oh, no goal line technology needed there. I mean, if you get a free kick in the right area, Ryan Passar, we say they're as good as a penalty. We said that for a few years now. And even with a player on the line, No one could stop that finish from Sancho.
Incredible free kick.
Incredible
That's the
free
thing with
kick.
Nasadi. He's got so many ways to score. You see the replay of it. Incredible.
Danny Pitbull confused how that has gone in.
Look at the runners here.
Dembele, McTominay. This is when the Sada starts to let rip in the final third. Well, shall we jump elsewhere? Because all 6 games are now underway. Musiala finesse. Update here. This was the second goal for Levy Finn. We joined it as we went 2-1 up. But the goals did not stop there. Levy Finn gets another. How impressed have you been by Levy Finn? Because we didn't see a good Levy Finn at the virtual Bundesliga by his own standards. He, of course, was the defending champion from winning the competition before. He goes away for X amount of months and comes back and fights for his ticket to be at the World Championships.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Levy Finn. Watched him a lot this season, and I respect his mentality and also the fact that he had to push through play-ins to get his spot here. He started off really well against PHZ, getting 3 points on the board, and he's in a tough game against Krim, but if he's able to end today 6 points out of a possible 6, it would be an incredible return.
Yeah, Karim is back. I mean, it's about time he made a World Championship. The amount of times he's been so close. Brilliant ball. There's that finesse. Did he take it too early? Maybe he could have had an extra. Couple of touches there.
I think he was worried about the keeper coming out, and then he slowed down a little bit, but the keeper didn't actually end up covering that much ground.
I mean, Ryan, you don't want to believe with 0 points. I know you've still got 4 more games, and I know you've still got 2 more days of competition to look back on. But just a win, it just does something, doesn't it, for you mentally?
It's confidence. And as I said, though, as you said as well just then, you see quickly bottom left of your screen, that was a goal as well from Kachia there, but that opportunity bottom left from Levy Finn could have made it 4 goals to 2, but didn't. Yeah, ending the day with 0 points. It's far from over. You could argue you'd need a lot to go in your favour to get top 8 if that was the aim anyway. You'd have to win all 4 games and hope that other people drop points around you, but ultimately, if you're aiming to get into that top 24, probably, what, 7 points we've seen in the Champions League earlier on this season was enough.
There's a penalty in one of the other games, by the way, and it's gone to the penalty king that knows a thing or two about scoring from the spot here in Paris. That's Neat that's got a penalty. He has just scored. He's trailing in that game still. 3 goals to 1 against Virgil. We'll give you some updates around the grounds. Catcher, 4-1. He leads against Redlac as it stands. Hezes has broken the deadlock against PH in 25 minutes in that game. He leads by a goal still. This was the goal that we were speaking about. He went for a Panenka down the middle. Remember his story. He beat Tex to get into the World Championships. Oberon against Samu Gamers, a game that we haven't really spoken too much about.
Talk to me, Brandon.
There has been another goal in the game, and I believe the Samu Gamer could be leading Oberon by 2 goals to 1. Kind of feels like the old guard versus new guard there, of 2 Italians that have both been in the competition and in various World Championships. Samu Gamer playing in his 2nd world title. Added time here of 1 minute, and that will do us. Shall we go elsewhere, Ryan?
Let's do it.
Let's jump to another game live if we can. There's all 6 games in front of us. I mean, we don't mind where we go. We could go to PH and we could go to Catcher. Even Oberon against Samu Gamer that's coming back at the bottom of the middle. 3-1 Samu Gamer leads there now. We left him at 2-0 up. Catcher looks to be heading into half-time, Ryan, with a 3-goal cushion here.
Yeah, Catcher is a very difficult player to play against, especially when he's coming into this on form. Recently qualifying there through the play-ins. We'll take a look at a goal from Neat to make it 3 goals to 2 just before half-time. You'd have just seen, of course, beforehand he had that penalty where he went down the middle. And for Redlac, he's having a tough time so far.
Yeah, remember his first game against Anders, never a nice welcome, is it, to the World Championships, if that's your first game. What else have we got to take a look at around the grounds? We can still see Hezes leading against PH. Neat has pulled another goal back in that game. That's added time now. 1 minute, there's been another goal in it. Virgil has just gone 4-2 up at the break. We'll check in with this one for a second, though. And Hezes is one of those players, Ryan. He's just a couple of wins away from...
He always is.
I mean, you forget how many times he's been in the latter stages of an E-Champions League as PH is stopped by Iker Casillas.
I rate Hezes very, very highly, and I think he's worked a lot with coaches to sort of refine his defensive capabilities and just the way he controls games, because going forward, there's not really many better. He scores goals at will.
I think this is the most I've ever seen him work with a coach. Of course, he signed with Ninjas in Pyjamas, who are again going for those club championship points.
You can tell the difference, though, because if you look at his gameplay now compared to even a year ago, year and a half, it's a drastic difference.
PH in, can he angle up that finisher? That's what he's looking for, potentially. Jude Bellingham delays and tries to tease Hezes into a trap. There was an update in our featured game, and it's a fourth goal for Nasada. 4-2. That's the standings as it looks right now. I mean, Ryan, on that top 8, give me 4 names you expect to be in that top 8 come Friday.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I think some of them are already in there.
Block. I'm going to go with Anders, Nasada, Manu. Brandon, you've got... I don't... Honestly, I don't... It could go on. It could be... Emre. Even though he's lost his first game, I'm still backing Emre. Nicholas, potentially, and I think... There's so many names, it's really hard to call. I'm looking at the names right there, all 36. And even players with 0 points or 1 point, they could even still get top 8.
I mean, chat, you tell us. You can see very clearly 12 players will be eliminated on Friday night here in Paris. 24 go through to the next stage. If you're in the top 16 or the top 8, your journey to lifting the championship trophy becomes a little bit easier. By the way, chat, I can still see messages coming through. Mystery Nation. If you got any more guesses, bring them in. They can give us a clue, Ryan.
Do you want a clue? I'm worried I'd give it away.
Well, a big clue is they haven't got an icon on the game this nation. They haven't got a hero on the game this nation.
They've got representation here.
They've got 3 players here.
Yep.
And a big hit, 2 of their players actually won the French E-League 1. So if you know where those players are from, that might help you on your way. Keep your guesses coming through on that Mystery Nation as Nasada. He's on his hunt. 4th goal. Update there. Karim is back. Well, that's the player that we were just speaking about, the one the French E-League 1. Now, Didi, what are you doing that far up the pitch? It's not France. That would have been a given if you said France. It's not Belgium. Also, chat, let us know the predictions. Who do you think will become FC Pro World Champion this year? Will it be a new name on the trophy? Will Manu lift it for a 3rd time? Anders for a 2nd time? Will Nicholas win a World Championship for the 1st ever time?
Nicholas Paolo, the
debate will be going on across the next few days here in Paris. There's that finesse from Saka. It all became a little bit too trademark. And a bit too obvious there in the final third, but he just about didn't know any people.
Yeah, he's on as well. Beautiful bit of play here.
Is there a pass? Luca Bacchio, no! There's a finesse!
Goal.
4-4. Surprise, surprise, these two have just pulled the game back square again.
think Nasada's frustrated there. Defensively looked all too easy there. Had a lot of opportunities to push forward and create that space for the through ball. But down the other end, Nasada's getting into those offensive areas quite frequently. It's just about whether or not he's going to take the opportunity to score. This game, Hez is leading 2-1. This puts Hez on 6 points as it stands. Peter's on 0.
That table will keep on updating, by the way. We'll try and do our best to feed in the hard work of the admins and the team behind the scenes of that table that is going to continuously move to league phase. More updates from the other games. Virgil, 4. Neat, 3. Catcher, 6. Flat 1. Obrum, 2. And Samu Gamers with 3. As that one comes in, it's another Italian who's on the score sheet. Hezes pulling away from PH in. Asada will be happy as well, Ryan. He has just scored. 5 for Healy's now. This was a penalty from Redlac. That was live. We just saw that penalty back goal for him.
He's going to have to make a ridiculous comeback here to get anything from this game.
Well, the good thing is they do get the league phase is spread across 3 days, Ryan.
It is. It's not as, because as you said, it's split across three days. It's not as detrimental. If you do start slow, you're going to see players that will end today on 0 points or 1 point, maybe 2 points maximum, that will probably make it through. See the idea as well. Salmo couldn't get onto it. The pass wasn't accurate enough, and it allows Redlac to start an attack of his own.
Remember, 9 minute half, so it's going to be time for a couple of chances, but they have to be perfect attacks from the MLS champion this year. Just looking at the stats and the data, I mean, because of the ecosystem as such, obviously the E-Champions League and the MLS don't merge, so he was one of the few players that qualified for the World Championships really early on to the season, but unfortunately couldn't quite. I mean, he hasn't really. It's one of those, you've qualified for the biggest tournament of the year, but you haven't got anything else to play.
Yeah, you're kind of just resorting to online tournaments and practice cups. But again, I mentioned it earlier, you can't replicate the intensity of a last chance qualifier or another domestic league that's later on in the game cycle. This was goal at number 4 for Hezes, 4-2 up against Peter Zim. We'll jump back over to this Virgil Neat with just over 10 minutes left to be played. It's an attack for Virgil. He'll go here.
Big chance. 5-3. They're in a pause and we'll leave them to it for a second. Let's go somewhere else. What a game we might have on our screens, by the way. Levy Finn, Karim is back. I'm looking at 6-6 potentially. I can hear the game sound. Let's go to it now.
Very aggressive offside trap in here from Danny Pitbull. You see the replay of the goal. That did make it 5-3 for Virgil, and there was a goal bottom left of your screen. Asada 7-4.
Well, let's leave them to it if we can. Karim is back against Levy Finn, maybe in the game. It was 6-5, sorry, now it's 7 goals to 5. We'll join it live now. Chance for Karim, there's the ball roll, could he have had a shot? This was the 7th goal, right?
Yeah, lovely extra pass there, and Adam Wharton can put it into that top corner.
Back to this live now, 12 minutes left. You have just joined us, this is round 2 of the league stage of the FC Pro World Championships. We're only playing up to round 2 today, we're back tomorrow for round 3 and round 4.
Oh.
Carban, nice
Oh, this. Hi, welcome, bro. Welcome, South Weekend, bro. It's been a long time. And these matches are so tensed.
There, Piagin is trailing, but he's getting back into the game. Samu Gamer 4, Oberon 2.
Ooh.
Dembele with the step over, still
Levy Finn is cooking.
We talk about finesses, but sometimes just get your head down.
Good, but not health-wise, not doing good. I am recovering from cold and cough. Some kind of virus going on in Kerala. How did he miss? Yeah, bro. I don't know how he saved. After the draw, share the link to the group. Come and enjoy this match. Oh man. Oh. Danny Pitbull's second loss in a row. He might get knocked out.
Okay, I think that stunned you there. I'm looking at you. You didn't expect it to go in.
It's a very tense game.
Zin.
That pass 3. I don't know how he got it in, but he don't care. Jesus is a little bit more frustrated, and rightly so.
Bottom left then, Asada, goal at number 9.
No. You've poked the bear, Ryan.
That puts him on 16 goals across 2 games.
9-4. I mean, he'll be gutted that he's not playing round 3 and round 4 now.
I think that's the hard part, again, from a player's perspective. When you're playing on full floor, you're hot. You don't want to carry on going.
I don't think Perry can make a comeback against Levy Finn. Charanjot lost against Levy Finn in this. I think they were in the same group.
Also, Brandon, there are some players that would have played in
that's a very tough group
today that won't play again until round 6 of the day, which is...
How hard is that for those players?
I think people underestimate the difficulty of it.
Because that is realistically, what, 5 p.m. until you're going to be back on at about...
I think this match is 9 minutes half, right?
It's a long wait and you kind of don't know
because the time is going very slow and all the matches are like 8 goals, 9 goals.
Try and dissect it, try and get a bit of information. But yeah, staying warm is probably the difficult thing.
First result in from this round 2, by the way. Virgil 5, Neat 3. So he's picked up 3 more points, the Italian. Playing in his 2nd World Championship. We saw him again, of course, in 2024 when we were in Berlin. That's the only game that has concluded of this round. So look around the matches. Samu Gamer, Oberon's got 10 minutes left. Samu Gamer is still winning. That Hezer's
8 minutes half, okay.
Potentially a comeback on the cards for Red Lap, but I don't think there's enough time on the clock.
But in Pro Ladder, it's 9 minutes, I guess.
In that game. And
so the tournament will be 8 minutes or 6 minutes half. Ooh, goal. Oh, this was a good goal.
And he scored 1 more after that.
Oof.
Danny Pitbull finds himself in a bit of a difficult position. This was the last goal. What a through ball again.
Oh, they are. Next play.
Easy as you like. The Suns. Looks like he's gone into 2nd gear, Ryan.
Yeah, and when he's in this flow state, it's impossible to stop.
Levy Finn, 2 out of 2.
2 wins from 2. He sits pretty on 6 points. A 7-5 victory against Karimu's.
Oh, next is Anders match.
Well, 3 games done. Make that 4 games. Full-time result catcher 6-4 against Redlac. He's back to the drawing board tomorrow.
Singh might lose again.
To get it right.
He lost against Levy Finn.
10 minutes left on this one. And Oberon Samu Gamer just 5 minutes in front of this.
Oberon also lost.
PH in.
A lot of new players are there.
Tuzzy Kip from right to left. Jesus, who got his ticket very early into the season to the FC Pro World Championships. Musiala!
Musiala.
Piagasin!
Back 4-4. But I feel he will lose.
Some players opt to overplay it, maybe turn a little bit more. But when you have the angle there with the finesse shot play style in this game, precision shooting, it is a very, very viable way to score. As I showed just there.
Talk me through it, Ryan. This was the
Some people overplay, they'll maybe slow it down, look for someone, and maybe play a pass backwards. You don't need to. Almost another opportunity to score there from Peterson. He's got the corner. Keeping at the edge of the box there, can't get enough contact on it.
5 minutes away. Are we in for a match winner here? I'm not sure if we can catch the closing stages. Bellingham with a chip, it was cheeky!
Alright, he will lose. PHC is not in good form.
5-4 up and he's straight back in the game. No time to hang about for the replay there.
Yes, hanging about, noise Peterson.
It's very difficult to make a comeback again.
3 minutes left.
3 minutes left. No,
All Hezes needs to do now is just slow it down, Ryan.
Done.
Full-time result. We didn't get to see much of it, but Samu Gamer picks up 3 points over Oberon. 6-3 win. Or the pro player of Sassuolo who goes through to the next round of the competition. Added time to follow now. Hezes, I don't think will look to score again. He'll just be slowing down the game because these are a big 3 points in the overall complexion of this league phase.
Yeah, 1 minute added on as well, so he can go all the way back. And can just take seconds out. If he goes long as well, there won't be enough time, and he plays it across very calm and composed.
Game over. Hezes 5. PHJin 4. And that will wrap up the last match of action. Well, there we have it. That is part 1 of 3 of round 2 concluded.
Two loss.
Two loss. Two more rounds to come from day 1 of the FC Pro World Championship, and the action continues after this.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're
Okay,
here.
half time.
Now,
Break time.
the proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Welcome over to the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet, where we have some MLBB this week. A couple of heavy hitters coming through, especially for the club championship points. So, Lafel, could you let me know what's going on over here?
Well, so first of all, we've done with our first day. Everything has gone smooth so far. In terms of club championship, we're looking at teams like Falcon, Vitality, as well as Team Liquid. Team Liquid didn't play today, but last year they were the champions for MLBB, and I see no reason why they can't be back-to-back champions.
That is actually really interesting to hear because, of course, Falcons, Vitality, Liquid are the heavy hitters when it comes to that club championship points. Liquid was second last year in the club championship points overall. So are you putting your prediction this year on Liquid to win again, or do you think there is maybe another team that can take this?
Honestly, if we're looking at how things are going right now, especially hearing the rumors of scrims, it looks like for now, Team Vitality is the strongest team out of all the teams. I personally feel like Team Liquid will take it again, but I will not be surprised if somehow Vitality is able to take them out.
Well, Vitality has done well last week as well for MLBB's women's tournament, so we'll see whether or not they'll be able to carry that one over to here. That's it from us. We're going to keep you updated for Club Championship Point throughout the entirety of EAFC, so stick around.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back in. We just witnessed an epic round, and here we have two more breakdowns from our analysts. Let's talk about what you just witnessed. And first off, surprises.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I mean, surprised in the sense of where Oberon is right now. He's on 0 points. He lost his game against Samu Gamer. Samu's been in fantastic forms throughout the tournament. He's now 2 wins out of 2. And then, of course, Redlac as well. He lost his game, which sets up, I mean, I don't want to look too far ahead, a game between 2 players who are on 0 points. Redlac faces Oberon in the next round of fixtures, Shells. Massive, massive game for both.
Shells, let's take a look here at the results and walk me through the big surprises other than Oberon sitting at 0. What else do you see?
Yeah, I think Oberon being at 0 points is the biggest surprise. But in terms of results so far, I think Karim is back being on 0 points, losing to Levy Finn there. Levy Finn is looking so strong and on the ball. He has a little source going forward, so I think Levy Finn can be a little bit of a problem for other people. I think Virgil beating Neat 5-3. I think that's a big result for Virgil.
Big result. How about Hezers with his second win of the day?
Yeah, Hezers, I mean, that game went right down to the wire. It was 4-all. We saw so much emotion from P8 and rightly so, getting that late equalizer. But as always in FC, you have to play until the last whistle. We're going to see so many late goals. We've seen another one from Hezers. He's on fire, mate. And you know what? The season that he's had, this could be an interesting one for Hezers. I'm backing him to get that top 8, you know.
Now, gentlemen, in the top left corner, you told me to keep eyes on Danny Pitbull. He is now sitting on 0 points and seemed like Nasada was able to take care of business. I'm told we got to hear from the winner live. Let's send it to the stage with Case.
Yes, I'm pleased to be joined with Nasada, who just had a great match up against Danny Pitbull. That was a rematch from the FC Pro Open in the quarterfinals, which didn't go your way that time, but it was a different story this time, wasn't it?
And FC Pro Open, I lost to him in the quarterfinals, and now I won. I just want my revenge, and that's okay.
You got revenge. We absolutely love to see it. And you were 2 for 2, 6 points. Your first match was up against Virgil. You said that one was a bit tougher as well, right?
Yeah, against Virgil is always really tough because he's a really good defender. And I think he's just like in a really good form. Even like in the preparation, he was really good. And yeah, it was really tough, but in the end, I won.
Well, you had a perfect day today, 6 points. Is that top 8 selection on your mind? Obviously, that's the goal, to get top 8 because that gets you in a better position. Is that on your mind, or is just one game at a time?
I just want to win all games, that's it. Like every game I play, I want to win. But in the end, I see like in which position I am.
Another player that you're going to have to go through next match is Levy Finn tomorrow. So how are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, obviously, Levy Finn is one of the best players in the world. And I'm good friends with him, so it will be like tough thing, but I hope I win, that's it.
It's bittersweet. How do you go against a friend? Because obviously it's tough if you win, it's tough if you lose.
Yeah, exactly. If I lose, I would feel bad, but in the same time, I would say, okay, nice, Levy Finn is through the group stage. But yeah, if I win, I will be sad that he lost the game, but that's it.
All right, Nasada, job well done today. You have everything to go for tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow, and we're going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Case. And that Nasada guy seems pretty nice. Should we invite him out for some couscous tonight?
Listen, I think he'll be concentrated. He's a focused man, isn't he? He's on fire. And every time I see him, he seems to be super confident. And it's showing in his gameplay as well, Shells. I mean, virtual V-Bundesliga champion, of course. He's wanting to win more and more. I think we're going to see him win quite a bit in this season.
Listen, I think Nasada's here to stay for a very long time. Ever since I came across him in a practice last year, I'll keep on saying it. He literally put me in retirement. And you can see Danny Pitbull starting off 1-0 down against Nasada. Just going forward, he doesn't seem the way we can slow him down. You can see Danny Pitbull equalizing there, a bit fortunate. You can see the reaction from Nasada. That's one thing I love about him. Every goal that he concedes or score, you do see a little reaction from him.
Yeah, he loves the low drivens as well. Nasada does. In terms of Danny Pitbull, he's got some interesting fixtures, but we'll move on to this one. Hezers, it went right down to the wire. PH in against Hezers, and it was Hezers who comes out on top. 6 points for him. He's on fire. He's had a great day and a great start to the FC Pro World Championships.
Yeah, I think there was a good bounce back from PH, and even though he did lose the game, I think it was a good confidence boost to have a good decent little fight against Hezers. But Hezers just showing his class, showing his momentum that is carrying throughout the whole season, and he's putting on a clinic at this moment, and he managed to get a win against PH.
Are all of Hezers' games that close? Are they always decided by one goal?
No, I would like to say he just makes sure he gets the job done. He does score a lot of goals. Sometimes he can increase the gap, but I think he's just slowly starting to get into the tournament. As we go into this game against Levy Finn,
I was going to say,
his back.
Levy was popping off.
Levy Finn on the ball, he has a little sauce. He's so hard to defend against. And this Italian affair between Obran and Sabu Gamer, the old against the young, if you want to say. Sabu Gamer, though, he's looking to take the front not only in Italy, but in the World Championships.
Yeah, he's been fantastic so far. It's been his day. 6-3 win against Obran. A bit of a surprise when you look at Obran. He's up against Redlac in his next round of fixtures. That is a massive game. Not just for Obran, but also for Redlac too, because both players are currently on 0 points. Neat, we spoke about him so much. He came through the play-ins. He beat Tex on penalties. Yeah. I mean, what a result that is for Virgil.
Yeah, I thought Neat winning his first game in the round and coming through the play-ins, I thought he might be going on a bit of a heater, but Virgil, that's a great result for him. And going on to Redlac and Kasia. Redlac sitting on 0 points, and as you mentioned, we've got Obran next. Big round for them both. If they want to try and make it through the knockout stage, one of them has to come out with a win here.
Yeah, I mean, that point probably won't help either of them. 3 rounds of fixtures, that'll be, and it'll be 1 point after 3 games. Not really where you want to be. Shells, at what point do you reckon these players will be looking just to solely get in that 24? Because, I mean, top 8 at the minute is looking like there's going to be quite high scoring to get into that.
I would say probably from round 3, round 4, this is when you really need to start.
You start panicking at the end of tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night you'll be sitting at home in your hotel room thinking, what do I need to do? But of course, they got still 1 game each round and they got to focus what's in front of them.
Perfect day for Levy Finn, Hezers, Nasada, and Samu Gamer. Who else is going to finish with 6 points in your eyes, FG?
Probably Anders Vergang, to be honest. That's probably
easy
the safe one. Milker put himself in a fantastic position, the lowest ranked player in the tournament. He won really well. I'm looking down at the 34th spot of Danny Pitbull. Interestingly enough, he's got some interesting fixtures. He's got Cassia next. He also Cristobal and Jafonso. That's I mean, that is a tough league stage for him. Right now, I mean, look, we're looking at that top 24. We're seeing 23 and 24 at the minute on 0 points. That is not going to be the case, of course, because we've got so many rounds of fixtures still to go. Shells, any guesses as to who's going to miss out?
To be honest, I'm just looking at this big matchup between Bonanno and Jafonso. I think you can potentially see Bonanno on 6 points. Yes. Jafonso still on 0, and I think that's when you start to see the big gap. And that's as a player, when you see a gap like that, you start to build the pressure in each round as it goes on. So I think it's a big round for them both.
Is there any sympathy matchups here? Like, if I see a teammate of mine struggling, do I ever take my foot off the gas pedal, or are we going hard all the way till Sunday?
Oh, no. These players will want to get repetition and want to play their best FC on the biggest stage. We're here in Paris for a reason. It's a massive tournament, the World Championships. These players are not going to give any pity votes. They don't even do it in practice. They go full on in practice, these players. But these players, all of them, are born winners. So that teammate stuff doesn't really matter. If anything, probably a bit of extra motivation for him.
Speaking of motivation, if you didn't know, we have extra motivation be tuning in all day long. Shells, there's a little bit of a game going on in chat, and I feel like there's already a few correct answers. Is there a mystery region, mystery country going on? How can I win just by watching?
We got to try and guess the nation, or maybe guess the clues that we've been giving out, some famous food from that country, but I don't want to give it away. Am I allowed to give it away?
You can't give away the name.
Not the name. You can give hints. She can be a good guy for the people at home.
They have a special right back and they won the Champions
League at one point. We're talking about players from Real Madrid who used to play for Manchester City, now doing really well.
Speaking of players,
Real Madrid,
I've got some notes up down below. The man in the middle, bottom center, MS Dasari, sitting on 0 points. Would love to finish with 3. Can you tell me about his opponent?
Yeah, Adida had a difficult start as well. So both players are sitting on 0 points. I think the thing is with MS Dasari, when you've been there and you've done that, I'd be backing him in that fixture. I'd be looking at that if I was MS Dasari, of course. He's such a legend within this scene. I'd be looking at it and thinking, I can get 3 points here. But on the flip side, Adida will be super motivated as well, because the interesting thing about the league stage is you want to get off the mark as quick as possible.
But as well, I think with Adida, he's looking at Dasari. I don't think the young kids really expect the old veterans that much. So I think Adida for himself, he's probably looking at he needs to get this win.
It looks like the stage is set. Our players are ready to go. Make some noise in the chat and keep your guesses coming. You could earn big as our casters take the show away.
You thought we were having a great day of FC26. You thought we were watching the best players. You thought everything was ready to go high up. I mean,
champion, world champion is here.
number 5, we're gonna see probably the best match that we can see for the whole day, because we're gonna see Nicholas matching up against Manu Bashir. We're gonna see the Iceman.
Nicholas versus
two-time world champion.
Nicholas versus Manu.
Myself, Grams, and joined by Ryan Pessoa. Ryan, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm excited for that game. Obviously, Manu, we know the story around him. Nicholas as well, he's qualified for pretty much every world championship he's tried to qualify for. He just hasn't got across the line. He hasn't got his hands on that trophy yet. And the start he had today, that draw, the interview as well with a lot of emotion negatively from him. Do you think having that time off to breathe a little bit could make a difference, Grab, or is he still... Because I think Nicholas, we call him the Iceman, but his head, it was hot on that, and he was steaming.
Yeah, it was Demon Iceman, right?
Yeah.
It's tough, because I feel like Nicholas on the World Championship, it seems like the day one is a hard one for him. I remember I was speaking with Brandon about this, how if we look at 2022, 2023, it seems like he suffers on that day one. But I do feel like, in my opinion, because of that, Manu is a favorite coming into this matchup, but you can never count the Iceman out. But that interview with Case after that game one, you could definitely see the emotions coming in from him.
Frustration. Obviously, some of the games are underway. We'll try and get into the action as soon as we can, but you can see the reflection there of Nicholas' glass. I believe that we are underway now. Nicholas up against Manu is one of our games. This will be the featured one. Nicholas with the analog sprint, which we love so much this year, earning a corner very early on.
Let's look this corner. It looks for the team press, which is being activated by Manu. Now Kevin De Bruyne is going to look for that cutback pass. He finds it. Vinny Jr. with the low driven, saved by Casillas with the footwork. Chance for another corner. Kayosaka finds De Bruyne. Waiting for that team press, which is activated now. Like he goes forward. Passing to Jude Bellingham. I thought it was going to cross into the back post.
I thought the double tap, maybe L1 double tap was going to happen back post. Some of the other games going on in this round. We've got Di Fernandez up against Marwan, Greece up against Abu Maka, RVP Legend up against Guga Faraz, MS Desare against Adida, and Alehan up against Chris De Boer, who also had a fantastic win against Paolo Neto in that opening set of games for him. It's very important for a lot of these players, though, considering if you're looking at it from the perspective of both MS Desare and Adida, 0 points. So they're in a position where if you're able to get 3 points from that, it'll be a massive way to end day one. So I was about to say day two. To go into day two. Got Manu on the attack here against Nicholas, utilising that rapid play style.
I'm curious, Ryan, what do you think Saka is a must-have on the right wing?
Must-have is a bit of a... I wouldn't say must-have, but I think for me, if I was going to choose somebody, it would be Saka in right midfield. There are some options we saw in the last chance qualifying to play in. Some people using Henry out of position, for example, or some other players. But I think what Saka offers and the play styles he has, he is lacking a certain passing play style, in my opinion, which I think is important. But other than that, he's very good. Very, very high press there from Nicholas. Can he punish Bashori? There goes for the low driven. Casillas responds with that footwork play style.
Now a chance for another corner, taking short. Saka is going to go for the finesse. Saved by Iker Casillas as well. You can see the frustration coming in from the Iceman, because he knows he's wasting chances.
He's had quite a few in these opening 10 minutes, and you can start an attack here. You can see he's got a potential counter-attack on here. It's Kika, who very dangerous in these areas, has the finesse shot if he tries to cut inside for an angle, goes for the pass across, which was easily read there from Nicholas.
As we just see a replay coming in from Marwan, making it 1-0 in his game against Di Fernandez.
Big start from Marwan.
Yes, no celebration as well. He did have a first game against Karim, against Breeze, which he thought he deserved more. It was a draw, 1 point.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to get a win. Because 4 points out of 6 possible is a great start with day one.
Especially for Di Fernandez as well. That game against Levy, I know he started off very, very well, and then Levy started to pull away from him and ended up winning that game 8-6. But Di Fernandez this season, I think he's been very, very good. I think it's the best I've seen him. I think in Spain he was incredible. The Champions League as well. And he's somebody that, once he gets going, is very hard to stop. But the difficult thing is, getting going in this format is a bit difficult, I would say, Grav, because it's only 2 games a day.
Yes. Even if he gets loose in this game and it's just 0 points, he could do it tomorrow and the day after, because he's one of those players that, as you mentioned, when he gets going, he scores goals.
Someone
Same as
else,
RVP legend.
literally, same as RVP legend right there. 3-0 up in 20 minutes. He's somebody in the Champions League I backed to go the distance, to get minimum top 8, and he let me down with my prediction. Because I know RVP legend for years now. Watching the way he plays, he's sort of, hold up for a second, that's a good block there. He's sort of like Nasada in a way, with the way that they create chances, they score goals. But sometimes when the goals dry up, you see when you're in those 50-50 games, for example, Guga there. When Guga's in a 50-50 game, he can come out of that with a draw, or when it keeps it close. With RVP legend, I don't really see that. I feel like if he's normally sort of dominating up by quite a few goals, and then maybe the opponent can come back into the game, but yeah, he's a very, very difficult player to play when he's scoring that many goals.
And that's why I think for him, the game against Nicholas was massive for his confidence.
Agreed.
That's the kind of player that usually beats RBP comfortably. So getting a draw out of him must have been a confidence boost.
Speaking of confidence boost as well, the king of the jungle equalizes against Adida. That is 2-2. We're jumping over back to this Di Fernandez Marwan game live. And you can see on the right side of your screen some live updates from the other games going on. Reese against Abu Maka, that one there. We saw Abu Maka with that last-minute winner against Alihan, and Reese dropping the 3 points in that game against Marwan.
Oh, what a pass into Vicky Lopez to make it 1-1. I must say, even though the goal was great, I'm not a fan of Vicky Lopez.
Really? Who would fair enough, especially I know you love the analog sprint.
Yes.
Having rapid plus with analog sprint is unbelievably effective. So who would you go for? Kika?
For me, it would be Kika, or if no Kika, it's a tough one. Maybe Thierry Henry up top. But
See, I said this as well, but then for some players, they want the more nimble one. You can see bottom of your left there, Marwan did end up responding straight away with Messi.
Even Musiala on top, I think is great.
Musiala, Jude Bellingham on this game as well. No, not up top, I mean just in general. Are there any other names that you'd say for your team that if you were selecting your starting 11 are guarantees?
So for me, it would be probably Jude Bellingham on the midfield, Granit Xhaka as well on the midfield. I'm a big fan of Xhaka. And then I do like Mark Pubil, even though it's the team of the season and he shouldn't be that great. I feel like he's really good, same as Alihan, just cruising the game 5-1.
There we go, a goal in this game. We jump back over to it. An equaliser for Di Fernandez. Alihan again, another player. Very, very, very good. Saw him in the virtual Bundesliga. I thought he was potentially going to win it. He's a very strong player.
When he gets going, he seems to be unstoppable, really. As we just jump over to this Breeze Abu Maka, just 13 minutes played. And we are seeing something that we will see throughout the whole tournament, which is Breeze just comfortably building from the back.
In possession. Does not mind if the game... He doesn't mind if it can take 15 minutes to build an attack. And I think as a player, when you play against that play style, it is quite draining.
It is.
But then also, if he's able to switch it up and start attacks quickly, it sort of catches you off guard a little bit because you don't expect it. Last year, we saw how good he was, obviously, finishing runner-up. Chance just been keeping an eye out there as well. But this one played across. Cialanoli with the finish for Nicholas.
I didn't mention him before, but how do you feel about Scott McTominay? Because he's one of the players that we will see during the whole week.
I think using him as, let's say, in a 4-5-1, one of the midfielders that you trigger a lot to get those late runs into the box, I think he's very, very good. You can't, I say you can't get better. There are very few that are better at that, especially when you factor in the low-driven play style he's got as well. You've got a lot of options to score with him, and he can just push off defenders. I think if you want to play, let's say, in a 4-4-2, which some people don't really do, it's a great goal there from Adida, then I think there are better options. But as a 3 midfield, I think he's a very, very strong choice.
We jump back to the breeze against Abu Maka. I'm not sure if Abu Maka is comfortable with a 0-0 result after 20 minutes. And we see Guga Ferraz scoring the first goal of the game for him, 3-1.
Well, he needed a bit of confidence. Goes for the finesse there. Casillas manages to put it out for a corner. I had a conversation with Shells as well about Guga before this tournament. We were speaking just about players we think could go like a dark horse run. He was one of those names because in this format, draws are forgiving, especially early doors. You can get away with a draw. Guga Ferraz, we've seen throughout the seasons, he can keep himself in a game.
He does.
And when you can do that in a group stage where other players will be dropping points, there is a very realistic chance that he could get top 8.
Especially with the experience that he got in the ECL, which I think will play a massive factor in here as well.
Yeah, we're so close to getting through into that top 8. Take a look at the replay between Di Fernandez and Marwan. It was Di Fernandez who made it 3-2. And bottom left of your screen, we do have a breakthrough. Greece going 1-0 up against Abu Maka now.
I'm sure you know what I mean, Ryan, with this, because Greece is the typical French player that we used to face 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is the worst scenario possible. So it's 0-0 for 30 minutes. You're not just sniffing the ball, and you can see the goal. And it's 1-0 down.
Exactly. You can see all of the 6 games on your screen there, obviously at different periods. We're jumping over to this featured one, of course. Manu losing, but not for long. Finesse shot into that top corner. Salma, arguably one of the best players to have going forward, but quickly going into that about Greece with the way he plays. I need to take a closer look, but during the play-ins, he was one of the very few that selected Benitez in attack. He had, I believe it was Benitez, Kika, Salma.
Okay.
And I think it was either Vicky Lopez or Pina. It was all of the Spanish Liga F forwards who are nimble on the ball. They can turn quickly. We saw Texi built his team around players that, obviously with Lemphy, they're faster off the ball, but they don't dribble as nimbly as, like, let's say, somebody that's controlled or explosive. So I wonder if that's the reason why he selected those 4 attackers.
Great defense coming in from Manu Bashar, as we see the replay coming in from the Di Fernandez against Marwan. Luque Bacchio with the Borro scoop turn to make it 4-2. And we jump back. Last kick of the first half. Yes, it's a finesse and it goes in. Manu Bashar making it 3-2.
Manu Bashar.
And it seems like the world champ is on the way.
That just feels like a very typical Team Liquid goal, because you see that from Levy, you see it from Emre and everybody else from Team Liquid, where they get the angle. They've got so many bodies around that player in possession. They can pass it short, they can do whatever, trigger a run, dink it for a knockdown, but then they ball roll to open the angle for the finesse. And it's like, you know, as a player, when you're defending it, it's a goal. Basically, you close your eyes because you know the mistake was done before that moment. Right there, finesse shot angle opens up the keeper. You're not going to get near it.
Not a chance.
You have to hope that a block somehow kicks in.
Oh, saved by Casillas.
Oh,
no.
Word.
No.
What?
That's one of those goals in which, especially after losing the first game, and you can see this one, you had to be so strong mentally to keep on holding.
Better than me. I don't even want to see a replay production. How about that? Oh. Oh, Lord.
I'm sure Marwan thought goal is a goal. I want to ask you about the lengthy use on the wings. As we just see this block by Araujo. Are you a fan of the controlled, explosive, lengthy now in July? How do you feel like?
For me personally, I get why people use lengthy wingers, especially when you're triggering those runs and then you can play that through ball from anywhere. And for example, Luka Bacchio in this position here, he's not going to get caught. And he's got the play styles to score and the stats, so I get it. But for me personally, what I would prefer, I prefer more nimble attackers. Unless it's on, I've got a bit of a bias towards Henry on the game, I don't think. But other than that, I would rather somebody more nimble on the wing. But I do get why players would opt for the taller players with lengthy on the wing. They see a save. 6-1. Alihan Lyon leads against Cristobal. Going on to that question of what is your preference when you're building a team? Do you factor in the length of the wings?
I would say I used to do it, but now I don't anymore. Because I feel like there is a lot of players right now who are controlled with 99 pace, which if you look for lengthy, you wouldn't have 99 dribbling, especially with the shoe attribute. So I feel like even though it's important, if I could use Salma, I would probably use her. I'll probably use one lengthy and then one controlled on the other side.
Yeah.
But I don't think there is a right answer to that. I just think it's preference.
I agree, 100%. Top left of your screen, you would have got a glimpse there. I think it was Manu who scored to make it 4-2 against Nicholas. There was a world where Nicholas could end day one with 1 point. This game, to our RVP legend, of course, did play against Nicholas in his opening game. He could be in a very strong position, 4 points from a possible 6 if he can see this out. Guga Faraz, though, will not go down without a fight.
As we see the replay coming in, Manu was short, that makes it 4-2.
Yeah,
you were right, Ryan.
It's the offside trap grab.
It's one of those goals that Nico doesn't concede when he's playing well.
I was going to say that, yeah. Very uncharacteristic offside trap there from Nicholas. Oh. Do you know what it is? You can see from this corner and you just think, really, it's just not your day. See the live update. So he was 4-3 up against the king of the jungle, Emerson Surrey. I'd love to be able to jump into that live when we can. Holden after this attack.
RBP looking for a 5th goal now. It's going forward as we just see the replay. Salma Parayuelo to Bellingham to make it 5-2, and you can see the conversation between Nico and his coach Fer, because something's not going right at the moment.
Yep, exactly that. You can see the live standings there on the elbow and the results at the bottom of your screen. Nicholas 5-2 down against Manu. RBP Legend, of course, you can see on the screen 4-2 up. D. Fernandez and Marwan 4-4. Adida up 4-3 against Emerson Surrey. 1-1 between Brees and Abu Maka, and Alihan Lyon 7-3.
Wow. Massive game from Alihan because he needed to win. I mean, he's not an experienced player. So for him, finishing day one with 0 points would be catastrophic for him. So match not over yet. It's 7-3, but he needs those 3 points. So we just jump over now to the main screen, as you can see. I want to talk about the Nicolas Manu match, but we will jump onto the MS Dosari against Adida.
Did miss a goal, in fact, from MS Dosari, and he's on the attack here. Keep an eye on Jude Bellingham. Fakes the play look, twisting and turning. Can he get the ball across there? Rodri stepping in, intercept plus. This was the goal there. McTominay, we spoke about playing it. Nice little cancellation there to Yamal. That was lovely.
Oh, that's the stuff that the king of the jungle can still do. But he has to score another goal, because if he finishes up day one with 1 point, I'm sure he won't be happy.
Of course not. It just feels weird though. Like, I can't explain it. We were around obviously playing when Emissary was running rampant, and it's like
for those that are new to the scene, they may just think, wow, this guy is not as good as what people... But I don't... It's hard to explain, you know what I mean? Like, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, obviously the game's changed over the years, but what Emre Sasari was doing was ridiculous.
Oh, great defense by Upamecano, but yeah,